Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right, it's all right.
And now, a guy who always looks ahead, even when parallel parking, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pete Schwaba. And like most of you, I am trying to stay warm. I hope everybody is doing just that and having a great day. It is Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, in this short week at Nite Lite. We have lots going on tonight, lots to get to, and including news, sports, and weather, which is just 24 minutes away. We'll keep you posted on the cold and what's happening around our state, as we always do here at Civic Media. Great to have you with me, no matter where you're joining us from. I hope it's probably not any warmer than it is in Northeast Wisconsin, but maybe a few degrees warmer. Either way, you got to bundle up. Be careful out there. Don't go anywhere if you don't have to. And, listen, this is a great time, Conrad, to be a couch potato. Stay home, watch some color television, listen to the radio, smoke, drink, whatever you have to do. Get to know each other again if you're a couple.
And remember, smoking is cool.
Smoking's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
If I start smoking at my age, it's not going to affect me until I'm going to have a whole bunch of other stuff by then.
Well, when you go work out, like when you try to, you're going to be wheezing though. So
Do some curls with a cigarette in my mouth. Tell me.
Okay, that would be really cool.
Who is not looking at that guy going, oh, man, I would love to be like that dude.
You'd have to do that outside though.
Because they'd throw you out, you mean?
Yeah.
But are you referencing this? Because when I told my wife I was going to start smoking because it's cool. And at my age, I'm out of the woods in terms of health. Yeah. And she just didn't understand that. And I'm not saying it's a huge issue in our marriage, but I feel like that makes good logical sense. If I start smoking in my 50s.
You should be like, the high schoolers,
Not a big deal.
Leaning on the high school wall, and just
my Letterman
smoking
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should do that now.
How creepy would that be? Hey, girls, I got a letter.
No.
I would do no such thing. Welcome to Nite Lite, folks. Fun show tonight. Great guests. A fun question. And we're going to talk. We're going to keep you posted throughout the night about the weather. And not that anybody needs this, although I do wonder, because I called my folks earlier and I said, listen, I'm going to Green Bay. I'm going to stop at Walmart on the way home. If you need anything, let me know. You can't leave the house. And they're like, well, how cold is it supposed to be? And I was like, I just couldn't believe they were asking me. Like, how do you not know how cold it's going to be? But, they're retired. They're at home a lot. But I think they would have tried to go out to breakfast tomorrow and been like, oh, my God, this is crazy. But I would just not leave my house if I didn't have to. And I never have. Really, with DoorDash, streaming on demand.
Well, you're making someone else leave their house,
I'm paying them to do it, though. I have that power.
That's true.
It's the $5 tip. That is the voice of Conrad Krieger, who is producing tonight's show. We have, as I mentioned, a very fun show tonight, folks. We have, first of all, here's how cold it was. I've been known, there's something called a Pete sneeze, and I've done this at home, and I freak my kids out sometimes. I don't know what it is. I have these really intense sneezes, and I was reading the Hollywood Beats. We were recording them earlier. And Conrad jumped about 2 feet out of his seat, maybe dropped his phone. I don't know. He's just letting me ramble. And let's just give the people a taste of what you were dealing with, Con. Has a sneeze ever been played before on the air? I'm always looking for different ways. I'm kind of new to radio. I would love to break some ground somehow. That is so gross. This is like Pete's gross day. Let me tell you what happened this morning. So it's, today we didn't have a high of 10 below, but it was, nippy outside. So I'm running low on coffee. I put my last couple scoops of coffee in the coffee maker, and I decide like a genius to cut my nails over the kitchen sink, my fingernails.
Okay.
One of them flies into my coffee.
Did you drink it?
Typically, hold on. Let's not bury the lead. Typically, I would dump that and just remake another pot because, I have reasonably clean hands. I sanitize and I wash my hands regularly, but You don't know what's under your fingernails. You know, I might have stopped a crime last night. I might have, I don't know. But anyway, my point is I drank the coffee. I fished it out, but I didn't have any more coffee. What would you have done?
If I didn't have any other coffee, I still probably would have dumped it out. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
not my disgusting neighbor's fingernail, though. See, that's the thing. It's my own. It's my own germs that were on my person before I cut said fingernail, and it flew into said coffee. It's not going to affect the taste, although maybe if it does in a good way, I'm a millionaire and I've discovered something. But I realized I'm kind of prudish about stuff like that until I realize I'm not going to have coffee today because I'm not going to the store to get coffee. And I probably would have drank it if it was my wife's fingernail. Because, you know, she's... I
Wow.
should stop. I'm done.
Yeah, we need to.
Not that I'm just saying, like, if between a husband and wife, I don't think a fingernail's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still would have dumped it out regardless.
And gone coffeeless?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. See, that's the difference between
Just
you and I.
because
I'm a gamer.
I freak out anything in my drink.
I'm not a quitter.
I went to after a workout. I was like, I kind of want something to drink, so I went to Taco Bell to grab like some type of diet soda or something. You
Sure.
know? And one
Good thing you
little-
went diet at Taco Bell.
One little residue of something dropped in my drink. I don't know what it was, but it was a little black speck, and I saw it. Do you think I powered through that drink?
But hold on. Dropped from where? The
It was
roof
just
of your car?
No, it was in there already.
Oh.
Like when I got it,
No, you don't drink that. That's different.
I dumped it out.
I'm not saying I have the cleanest fingernails in Wisconsin, but I'm upper percentile. So that's why I roll the dice.
You see,
No way would I drink a drink from a fast food place where there was a floater. Absolutely not.
I was kind of thinking about it like, okay, this has to be like some mold from like the soda machine there.
Yeah.
Like dropping
Okay.
from the nozzle or whatever.
Right.
I was like, that has to be like mold. Like they haven't cleaned this thing in 6 weeks or something.
The good thing is, for you, the mold that dropped into your soda probably not as unhealthy as the soda.
Well, it's fine.
Drink it up. It's not going to hurt you.
I didn't drink it. I definitely dumped it out.
So this is Pete's gross day. I had a really disgusting wet sneeze that we shared with all the listeners. Then
Should
I
I
told
play
my
it again?
fingernail story. Yeah, let's fire it up. They just sneak up on me. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Look, I'm human, folks. I sneeze. Okay. Yeah, I'm a mountain of muscle and ridiculously good looking and funny, but I'm a disgusting sneezer.
Yeah, I probably
Kidding about all
across
this
the street, they're doing some work over there.
Yeah, the lights flickered at Schreiber when I sneezed.
They probably all jumped out of their seats there.
Like, what is going on over at WGBW? Hey, we got a really fun topic I want to talk about today, folks. Swearing. A lot of people get bent out of shape about it. I don't really have a problem with it. I grew up in a household where swearing was forbidden. We just didn't do it. My parents were pretty proper people for the most part. The worst my mom would ever say is damnation, which I still don't really even know what that means today. Or she's condemning an entire country, which seems worse than saying, an S-bomb or an F-bomb. But I grew up really not swearing, unless I was out with my friends, then it was like freedom reigned, and I swore. But I'm curious as to how people feel about swearing. I don't know. Did you swear when you were a kid in your house?
I tried not to, but sometimes I'd let them fly.
I guess in front of your parents is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, all right. So without my parents being there, I definitely would swear.
Sure. Well, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I tried not to, but sometimes they just fly out and I'd be like, oh, sorry. Oh,
Really? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there, Mom.
I remember one time I was having an asthma attack. I was probably 17 and I couldn't breathe. And my mom took me to the emergency room and they gave me a shot of adrenaline. That's how they used to do it. And the needle was like 2 inches long, right in the arm. And I just said, "Oh, shh." And I said that word, which isn't even that bad. And she said, "Peter, I was like, really? A 2-inch needle into my arm? So that's my history with swearing. But this all leads us to tonight's Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Question.
Questions.
How do you feel about swearing? Do you let your kids swear? And the reason I wanted to say this was because I just talked about how I did not swear in front of my parents when I was a kid. Somehow, and I thought, I'd raise my kids the same way. I would forbid swearing in the house, but assume they would do it out of the house. But my wife was raised a little more laid back than in my house. And she would drop an F, an S, or a, what are the other bombs you can drop? An A-bomb?
B-bomb.
A B-bomb, whatever. And my kids just all of a sudden felt comfortable. So, Mayor, if you're listening, yes, I'm mostly blaming you. I will also say I came around, and I don't think it's a big deal. I'm more concerned about what's behind the words you say than the actual words, because they are just words. But I want to know how you feel. How do you feel about swearing, and do you let your kids swear? I do now. I mean, my kids are mostly grown, so I don't freak out about it. Because I think freaking out about it makes it even worse. Conrad grew up in a very laissez-faire house. F-bombs, R-bombs, C-bombs. I don't even know what these bombs are. But I did not, and I've come around. I think there is a time and a place. I still ask the kids not to talk like that in front of their grandparents, even though they've mellowed out too quite a bit. And we are Bear fans, so there's a fair amount of swearing over the last few years. So let us know what you know, folks. Let us know what you think. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let us know. And you can also send us a message on the app, or if you are watching the radio on YouTube, X, or Facebook, drop us a stream comment, and I will read it on the radio. Would love to have you be part of the show, folks. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, a Thursday edition, the Christmas Eve of weeknights. Got lots to get to. When we come back, I'm going to tell you who our guests are for tonight's show. They are all outstanding, and we're going to talk Oscar nominations, and no more fingernail in the coffee talk. I think we'll leave that. Leave that at the door.
I was thinking about this question, and I'm thinking I'm going to teach him a bunch of words.
Me?
Yeah, when I have kids, I'm going to teach.
yeah.
I'm going to teach him how to say, and I'll teach him how to say.
Dude, no way. You cannot teach your kids.
Maybe I'll tell him.
I don't know, man.
You don't think that's safe?
First of all, if you're going to teach them to swear, teach them cool words so that their friends idolize them. So even their friends don't know what they're saying. Like, what's that? Like, I repeated words as a kid. I had no idea what they meant. And you just sound like a horse's ass.
I think school, you learn a bunch of fun ones. So you don't, your parents don't really have to teach you any, because you just automatically get it there.
Correct. And I'll admit, in 5th grade, I thought a part of the male anatomy meant mouth when I heard it starts with C, and some guy was walking around saying, oh, he's talking about his mouth. That's how clueless I was. That's Catholic school for you. Okay, we're coming right back. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Glad you're here, folks. We got a fun show tonight. Don't go anywhere.
There's nothing more than this. Tell me more.
This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you here on this ridiculously cold. It's only going to get worse, folks. It's going to be horrible all weekend. And I'm a glass half full guy, silver lining guy, optimist, thumbs up type of guy, but damn, it is going to be cold. I've noticed too, Conrad, that I use the cold as an excuse even about things that have nothing to do with the cold. Okay. Like my wife is like, "Are you going to go to the gym after your show?" I'm like, yeah, "It's freezing outside."
Well,
It's like, I'm not
it's
working.
indoors.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But any excuse I'll have, like I went down to get a sandwich earlier, and the guy goes, "You want something sweet? You want a cookie?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, "Yeah, it's 10 below. Give me a cookie." Like, what does that have to do with anything? But I got the cookie.
If you said ice cream, maybe I'd understand.
Yeah. Oh, that would warm things up a little bit in this kind of weather.
Yeah, go outside, eat some ice cream tomorrow. Perfect day.
I'm still trying to make radio history. I don't know how to do this. We tried with the sneeze before. The phone is not exactly ringing off the hook. But Corey, one of our fearless leaders here at Civic Media, said, take precautions tomorrow. If you can work at home tomorrow, do so. And I'm going to probably do the show from home tomorrow. And I responded back, I'll probably be at home in bed under electric blankets. Has that ever been done?
I hope not.
What do you think the sound quality would be like?
I hope you don't do that.
You don't think so?
No. Unless you have one of those, tables that you can lay over yourself. And it's just
Yeah.
like you just see your forehead.
Like a
in
breakfast in bed type thing?
Yeah, and you just see your forehead in the camera.
Why, but that's not like...
Because you're like laying on a pillow,
Not even showing my eyes? Okay.
Hello, this is Pete Schwaba from my bed.
Well, we'll see. I still have hope for the sneeze. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but we'll figure it out.
we'll play it a couple times during the show and just see how.
Let's hear it again.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was cute. It's so awful. You could tell I'm sick too. Like I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, folks. Let's not play the sneeze anymore. I don't want to chase people away. Is this a good time to ask for likes on social media?
Yes.
Here's a disgusting sneeze.
Yes.
Go like our Facebook.
If you feel bad for Pete when he sneezes,
Oh, that's good. Pity.
give us a like.
Absolutely. All right. So our question of the night is: how do you feel about swearing? Will you let your kids swear, or do you let your kids swear? Very eager to hear some of these answers to tonight's question. We have a fun show tonight, folks. Coming up in just a few minutes. I'm very excited about our guest tonight. Ryan Albers will be here. He is the event chairman this year for a really, really cool event involving dogs. It is sponsored by the Mid-Morning Kiwanis of Oshkosh, and it's called New Top Dog. New, of course, meaning new Northeast Wisconsin Top Dog, and it raises a ton of money for great causes, and it's a contest. People send pictures of their dogs in. The public can vote. All the proceeds go to children in need and pets, pet rescue, pets in need. It's going to be great. So Ryan will be here at 5:30 after news, sports, and weather to tell us about this great event that you can participate in. And it's kind of an all things new show. And when I say new, Northeast Wisconsin. Hannah Lopez will be here. She covers Door County for NBC 26 here in Green Bay. She's been on the show before. She is going to make tonight's popcorn pick of the week. She'll be here in studio. She's a lot of fun. She is a fellow DePaul Blue Demon. That's our connection, and she will be here in studio with a movie pick. So you won't want to miss that. And then in hour number 3, Irish author Molly Aitken will be here. This is something we recorded ahead of time, and she was such a fun guest. She's an author, but she's just an absolute joy to talk to, and I think you're really going to like Molly. And you might just run out and pick up one of her books because she's a really accomplished author and only in like her early 30s. So she joined us earlier from the UK, even though she was raised in Cork, Ireland. She joined us over the stream from London. So that will be fun, too. And that's in hour number 3. In the meantime, we've got some text we'll get to here. Our question is, how do you feel about swearing? Do you let your kids swear, or will you let your kids swear? I used to be more uptight about this than I am now. I really don't care anymore. They're just words. It's more like the anger that would be behind these words that I would be concerned about.
See, when I was growing up, I would always say that too. Like, it's just a word.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as a kid, when your parents hear,
Exactly.
Mom, it's just a word. No,
Yeah.
eat this soap.
No, it's because I never understood why it was so bad to say it when I was growing up,
Yeah.
I never understood. I was like, oh, it's just another word. But,
How did that fly in the Krieger household?
well, they didn't want me to say it, obviously. So I try to not say it. by them. Say any words by them. That would be bad.
The one I don't like is MF. I don't like that. I feel it's demeaning to women and mothers. And it's like people say it casually. Like they'll just talk to their friend, like bro or homie or dude. They'll throw that in there. I'm like, what? Like words have meaning. They are just words, but they do have meaning. I don't particularly like that swear word.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one that I don't necessarily like. Starts with a C.
Yeah. Does it have to do with private parts?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. I've never.
Just because I hate how it sounds, not just
It's
because of
harsh.
the word. It's just how it sounds. It
Yeah.
sounds really harsh when you say it.
So much for it's just a word because you're right. Some of them have a much bigger sting or bite. I don't like that word either. Sometimes I say words as a joke, but I would never call a woman that. Like,
Yeah.
even though I've been upset, I don't even use the B word unless it's to a male friend.
I usually say that when I'm on the golf course.
Yeah. To your golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love when people
And to
swear at inanimate
my
objects.
golf club, yes.
John Murray on the text line in the 608 says, Pete, ever had a shot called a toenail?
You don't want that.
It sounds really awful. He says, pour the bar mat into a shot glass at the end of the night and power it down. Pour the bar mat into a shot glass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's
It's-
like sneezes and
I've seen someone do that.
do a toenail.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
In a
And
Milwaukee bar.
that's really awful. And then Cam sent a picture of a guy banging his head against the counter. I don't know. Is that what it's like listening to Nite Lite?
That's
I'm not
what it's
sure.
like listening to your sneeze.
To my sneeze. That makes good sense. All right, folks. News, sports, and weather is next. And then we are coming back to talk about a new top dog. You do not want to miss that. Hannah Lopez is here, too, in hour number 2. And we talk with an awesome Irish author in Act 3. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. We're coming right back.
Love, you feel joy, you feel pain, 'cause nothing will be the same. Just another night.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite on a Thursday. A wonderful night in as far as weeknights go. Thursday is Top Dog. You see what I did there, Conrad?
That's great.
That's called a segue in radio.
That's great.
I don't know if my sneeze will put me on the map, but that segue might do it. We are turning our attention now to a really cool event that is happening locally here, just coming up very shortly here, called the New Top Dog. That new, obviously, is Northeast Wisconsin Top Dog, a great contest where the public gets to vote on dog pictures, and it raises money for an outstanding cause. And joining me here in the studio right now to talk about it is the chairman of this year's event, Ryan Albers. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You broke down and went with the headphones.
I did. I'm going to try it out.
Give it a shot. You can always take them off if you don't like it. I have to ask you before we get started. You have the Kiwanis pullover on. My dad was a Kiwanis member in Marinette, Wisconsin. What is mid-morning Oshkosh mid-morning Kiwanis? There's a lot to unpack there. What is that? What's going on there?
So it's basically an organization that is international organization, and it's for the benefit of children in our community. And we do fundraisers and volunteer and things like that to improve the lives of children in our community. And it's called Mid-Morning Kiwanis because there was actually another Kiwanis club that used to meet earlier than us. They were the early birds. It was at like 6 o'clock in the morning or
That's
something.
insanity.
And we meet at 8. And 8
That's
is
mid-morning?
mid-morning.
Oh,
So we meet at 8 o'clock in the morning on Fridays at the airport in Oshkosh.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. We got a group of like 40 to 50 members right now, and everybody's super active, and it's just a phenomenal club. They're kind of like my second family.
Very cool. How long have you been involved in the group?
So I've been a club member since 2015.
Nice.
I took a little sabbatical during COVID just to focus on my business, but then I was pulled back in, and so now I'm
Can't get
probably
away.
going to be a lifer.
What is your day job, so to speak, or what was your career?
So I'm one of the owners of a branding agency in Oshkosh called Quill Creative Studio.
Nice.
And so we do corporate brand identity development. And so it's a lot of
Nice.
creative work, and spent some time to focus on that.
Very cool. Well, it's good to have you here. I'm very excited to talk about this this event. It's the New Top Dog, Northeast Wisconsin's popular online dog photo contest and fundraiser. It pairs local rescue organizations with area breweries. I love how you make the jump to beer because we're in Wisconsin. It's like-
Always. I spent the first 6 years of my career in the beer industry.
Did you really?
I did. I was at the
Nice.
distributor level.
Oh, fantastic. And it raises funds for pets and kids in need. So tell us about this event. How did it start, and how long has it been around?
Yeah, so it's been around since 2020, and it started with the need to have a new fundraiser because our club was, the fundraisers they were doing kind of ran their course, and they wanted to do a new fundraiser, and just leveraging kind of like that digital crowdsourcing thing,
Right.
and if it can kind of go viral. So the idea was that we could pair local breweries with local animal rescues, and then we split the proceeds 50-50 in each one of the contests between our Kiwanis Club for children's programming and then the rescues themselves. So it started with just a concept that, hey, we could run a photo contest and get people to, solicit donations. And it blew up. And since 2020, we've raised over $700,000.
That is unbelievable. I was going to ask you about that in just 5 years. And did you take a year off for COVID, did you say?
So I was
out
of the club for a little bit, and the club kind of ran with the idea, and it grew into the beast that it is today.
Wow.
And then I was appointed chairman this last year, and because I'm one of the owners of a branding agency, I took it through a whole brand refresh and made some slight tweaks to things just so I could really get my hands around it. And we're about to launch on Monday with the registration week.
So it's just kind of a genius thing. You put pictures of dogs online. Who doesn't want to see dogs? And I'm allergic to dogs. I would still look at dog pictures, and kids. Dogs and kids are the recipients of the proceeds. So it would take somebody pretty heartless to say, no, thanks.
Right. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Most of the funds that these rescues are, earning go toward medical costs to keep these dogs alive. There's a lot of them that come to them in pretty rough shape. So a lot of those funds go towards medical costs to make sure that it's not, they're all no-kill rescues. So we've got 5 contests that are going to be going. The breweries are Fifth Ward, Stone Arch, Bare Bones, Fox River Brewing, and the Fond du Lac Brewery, which is a newer brewery in Fond du Lac. And they're all paired with rescues, and we can talk about those too. But the idea is that you submit a photo of your dog for $10. You get 10 free votes. And then once voting opens on February 2nd, you solicit votes from your friends and family. You share that link on your social channels. And whoever ends up getting the most votes at the end of the contest gets to work with the brewery to brew beer in their dog's honor. And then you get your dog's photo on the can. And, if it's a pug, you can call it a short snout stout or whatever. And people just go crazy about this. Usually the winning dog gets a couple thousand votes.
Couple thousand votes.
Oh, yeah.
So if people want to enter their dogs, where do they go? They go to, what's the website they go to?
Yeah, it's called newtopdog.com.
Simple enough.
And
Love
right
it.
on that website, you'll be able to scroll down and see the 5 contests, and you select them basically whether or not whether you want to support one of the rescues that are listed, or if you really like a brewery and you want to work with that brewmaster, you could select it based on the brewery.
It's an honor for a dog to have a beer named after it, but it's sort of like a trophy that they can't really enjoy. Would it be better to have their
Sure.
picture on a dog food or something like that?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of other prizes that
Yeah.
we're going to be giving away too. So there are definitely some more pet-friendly prizes like leashes and gift cards to like Sea Spot Run and some other things that are more dog focused
Yeah.
as well.
So if I want to go vote, am I voting for what I think is the cutest dog or the cool, or is it just open? Like, what dog do you like the best? Like, how do you coach people on how to vote if you do?
Yeah, whatever compels you, I suppose. If there's a specific rescue that you'd want to contribute to, I would definitely say to visit that page starting on the February 2nd. Then you can go to the new Top Dog page and, go into that contest and look through photos. And if there's a dog that really speaks to you, typically somebody knows somebody in the contest and they've seen it because somebody shared the photo of their dog and, they're trying
Soliciting
to
votes somehow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So
This is fun. Ryan Albers is my guest, folks. He is the event chairman for this year's new Top Dog, a really cool thing that has raised $700,000 in just about 5 years for pet rescue and children in need. Where do the children funds go to? Or like Head Start programs or for abused kids? You said it goes through Kiwanis. What kind of kids are the recipients of these?
yeah, absolutely. So the Kiwanis Club has a variety of programs that we do to basically offload the funds that we've gathered. Some of them include a program called iPads for Autism, where we purchase iPads for children from families that couldn't afford an iPad because it's a great learning tool. We also have a program called Project Undercover, where we purchase undergarments, socks and underwear, and fill closets at schools because there's a lot of kids that you wouldn't believe don't have socks and underwear, and it makes them feel really out of place. Teacher grants. We also support some pantry programs that stock schools with snacks and, to-go food so that these kids who, their lunch is the only meal of the day, they can take something home with them. So it's all about just improving the lives of children in our community.
Absolutely love it. So, all right. So you can go online, you vote on the cutest dog or a dog that, as Ryan said, sort of you feel connected with over the picture. Is there a swimsuit competition? I have to ask that.
Oh my goodness. You could definitely have your dog be all soaking wet after coming in from the lake. Usually they're all naked though. So
Oh, see, I got red flags all over that. Do people dress their dogs before they post some of the pictures?
there are some crazy photos. People have fun with it. It's just one of those things where it just has to be a photo of your dog.
Yeah.
You can't have other people in it or, honestly, just the dog is the focus. And then the winners, first through third place, actually get to have a photo session with Deb Lake, who's a member of our club. She's a professional photographer. And then you get a photo session with her. And those are the photos that we use for the cans.
Oh, wow.
So they're nice and crisp.
Very cool. So, all right. So the entry opens January 26th. Just go to newtopdog.com.
Correct.
Okay. Entry opens January 26th. $10 to post a picture of your dog and make it eligible. Voting begins February 2nd, and then the contest concludes March 1st. That's kind of a fun month. Is there anything in between? Do you have releases or little parties about the voting opening, or how do you guys kind of milk this? It seems like it would be a fun event to really get the most out of.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually this coming week on Tuesday at 5th Ward, the Oshkosh Area Humane Society is going to have celebrity bartending to kind of kick this off. So they're going to have a bunch of people that work at the Humane Society bartending at 5th Ward.
Nice.
There's some other kickoff events that they're having. Fox River Brewing, for instance, they have a tap room that they are all decorating for Valentine's Day, and they're having Puppy Love Sundays with some promos those days, and they'll run the leaderboards on the screen and stuff. But really the thing to keep people engaged is throughout the event, we have match days. So there's some of our sponsors that have contributed funds to double the dose those days.
Nice.
So every dollar is going to count as 2 votes during those match days. And you'll only know what days are match days if you're following our Facebook page and see when we announce them.
That's a great point. What are the socials you guys are on if people did want to get more involved or at least follow it?
Absolutely. So it's Facebook and Instagram. If
Okay.
you just search New Top Dog, it'll pop up there, and just follow those pages. That's where all the stuff is coming out. ePower Marketing does a phenomenal job. They're our marketing partner, and there's a lot of content that'll be going out on that. I mean, we have like 12,000 people on our email list. So, we'll be getting the word out, but especially on social media, I'd follow.
You mentioned puppy love. What is that? Is that like just sort of a puppy category, or is it separate, or is it like dog speed dating? What is that?
No, it was an idea that the team at Fox River Brewing came up with to have some days throughout the event where they could run some specials.
Okay.
So, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing yet. Maybe it's, if you come in and you show that you're registered, you could, get a free beer. I know that
Yeah.
they're doing foot-long hot dogs for sure,
no.
but they'll have a dog house outside and stuff for some photo opportunities. But it's just something to help push the program.
What a great program, too. I mean, honestly, you're kind of tapping into something no one can say. I mean, who doesn't love rescue animals to begin with? Kids in need, and then you've got some beer thrown in there, and it just seems like a great event. What has been the impact on the community as a whole? Just like, have people rallied around you guys? Has it grown every year?
Yeah, it's there were a couple of years where it really popped off, especially around COVID when people had their stimulus checks that came in.
No.
But yeah, we just hear people always getting excited about it. We go to pet expos and stuff, and people are always saying, "Yeah, I entered my dog and I ended up getting beat out," or "My dog was on this can." And when you talk to people about it, they really get excited about it.
It's such a cool thing, too, because who really cares if you win? If you're part of it, it just seems like a fun thing to be a part of. And then if you do win, it's great.
Yeah.
But just a neat community type thing. So we're going to have a few more minutes with my guest, Ryan Albers. He is the event chair this year for New Top Dog. Check it out at newtopdog.com. They're doing great things for kids. Compliments of the mid-morning Kiwanis.
You got it. Oshkosh Mid-Morning Kiwanis.
All right, we're coming right back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me. We are talking about swearing tonight, folks. That is our question of the night. How do you feel about swearing? Do you let your kids do it? I don't really let them, but they do it anyway. And what am I going to do, really? Conrad grew up in a very swear-happy house. I was raised a little differently, more proper, but there are no right or wrong answers, folks. But let us know what you think. That is our question of the night. Coming up in Act 3, Molly Aitken, an Irish author, will join us from the UK. She is an absolute blast. And then coming up at 6:35 to make the popcorn pick of the week is Hannah Lopez from NBC 26 here in Green Bay. She covers Door County and does a fabulous job. She will be here in studio. It'll be great to have Hannah back in the studio. My guest in the studio right now is Ryan Albers. He is the event chairperson of this year's New Top Dog, a great contest where people enter photos of their dogs, and people vote on the photos to find the cutest dog or the dog they most connect with. There's no real criteria. You guys haven't really laid out. You're kind of leaving it willy-nilly, but I think you like it like that.
Everybody likes something different.
That's right. So, and it has raised over $700,000 since 2020. The proceeds go to pet rescues and children in need. It sounds like a great event, and it is sponsored by the Oshkosh Mid-Morning Kiwanis, the early morning Kiwanis. Those guys are mailing it in. They don't do half the work you guys do, right?
No, I think they don't exist anymore.
Oh, they don't exist
it's
anymore.
too early for everybody to show up. There's another club in town, but they meet at noon at the bar. So.
See, that's more sensible. That's the one I would belong to.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you here, Ryan. So tell us a little bit about the rescues.
Yeah, so there are some rescues that, like Humane Societies that we have in the program that have brick and mortar locations, but there are also some rescues that, have dogs that are available for adoption that are in foster homes. So we have the Oshkosh Area Humane Society that's paired with Fifth Ward, the Nina Animal Shelter that's paired with Stone Arch Brew Pub. Then we have Wilson House Rescue, which is paired with Bare Bones, and Unforgettable Underdogs that's paired with Fox River Brewery, and Sandy Paws Rescue, which is paired with the Fond du Lac Beer Company. So, they're just phenomenal organizations. They do so much. They go above and beyond to make sure that dogs find a good spot to live and flourish, because a lot of them come to those rescues and shelters in pretty rough shape. So all those funds, typically, from what I've heard, majority of the funds go towards vet bills to make sure that they keep their promise to be a no-kill organization.
Wow. I can't even imagine, like, where can people, like you just mentioned those breweries and the rescues, if they wanted to get more involved, aside from this event that's coming up, how would they do that? Contact the brewery or where would they go to adopt a dog?
Yeah, so all of these rescues and, like the Humane Societies, they have websites, especially for the rescues like Wilson House and Unforgettable Underdogs and Sandy Paws. They have dogs that are, available for adoption, but there's also dogs coming in that need foster homes. So
Okay.
I would definitely suggest reaching out to some of these organizations, and they're all over the state. They all do great work, but these are just the ones that we're working with for this contest. And they're always short on foster homes. So to, foster a dog until it finds its forever home is a phenomenal way to help.
That's great. Tell us about the bonus. There's bonus payments that you guys offer. How does that work?
Yeah. So the breweries and the rescues are all running their own individual contests. And it's not really that they're competing against each other, but they kind of are.
Yeah.
And whoever out of the rescue contests of the 5, whoever gets the most cumulative votes gets bonus payouts. So there's additional funds that go to the top 3 rescues, depending on how they land at the end of the contest.
Okay. Wow, that's great. You guys have thought of everything. All right, so the contest starts, entries open January 26th. It's just $10 to you take a picture of your dog and post it, right?
Yeah, and you got 10 free votes with that. Everybody who has a dog has tons of photos on their phone already. We make it super easy. But yeah, you enter for $10, get 10 free votes, and you'll get your links to start sharing for voting starting February 2nd.
One of the few times it is actually okay to buy votes.
Yeah.
Because it's for It's for a good
Absolutely.
cause. There are no election rules here. Voting begins February 2nd, and the contest concludes March 1st. Participants and supporters can learn more and sign up at newtopdog.com. Do you have a favorite, like I say, who doesn't love dog movies? Typically when they come out, they do well because there's a dog in it. And who doesn't love Man's Best Friend, right? So do you have a favorite dog show or dog movie?
Well, I mean, I have an 8-year-old who likes to
Okay.
watch, like Pup Academy, but it gets old after a little while.
Is that a TV show?
It's a show where
Okay.
all the dogs talk. It's like, the whole buddy series with the, golden retriever thing.
Sure.
But I would have to say my favorite movie that has a dog in it would probably have to be The Sandlot. Because it's just a
so great.
phenomenal message about,
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover, especially when you think about these rescues that are taking in these dogs that have had rough lives up to that
Yeah.
point. And getting a second chance. That's definitely something that I would think connects really well, but I just love that movie.
It's such a great movie, and it comes up from time to time, whether we're talking baseball movies, movies with an animal, or movies with James Earl Jones. It just doesn't matter. It's such a great movie, and that's a great choice. So do you have anything you're binge watching right now, or do you watch color television at home at the end of a long day?
No, I actually don't.
What?
We don't watch much TV, but between the business I'm running and this program recently, it's just kind of into the computer.
Sounds like your eight-year-old kind of dominates the TV anyway with the
Sometimes, yeah, when we let her watch it. Sure.
Best of luck with the competition. It sounds really fun, and let us know how it goes, and let us know what else we can do to help. It's great.
Wonderful.
All right, that's
Thanks for
Ryan
having
Albers, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to break for news, sports, and weather. When we come back, we're going to read some of your texts, and I'm going to tell you. We'll talk about the Oscar. The nominations came out today. Some great movies and great actors. We'll talk about all of that after the break in Act 2. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you here, folks. It's the Civic Media Radio Network.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 9 governors in the South declaring states of emergency ahead of a looming ice storm. Temperatures in the teens and single digits could leave parts of the nation's midsection crippled for days with an ice storm. Tennessee officials say they could receive up to a half an inch of snow and ice. ABC's Ginger Z has more.
Now, it all starts, we can tell you, Friday night through Saturday morning. Dallas, across I-20, or I-40, not good. Over to Little Rock, Nashville again. Louisville and Cincinnati are on the snowy side of this.
Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in Russia holding meetings with the Kremlin on carving out a peace deal with Ukraine. President Trump met on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum with Ukraine's President Zelensky. And Zelensky announced there would be trilateral meetings between Ukraine, the U.S., and Russia in the United Arab Emirates later this week. At the World Economic Forum, President Trump also announced details of his Peace Board initiative aimed at helping rebuild Gaza, he says, after the Israel-Hamas war. This is ABC News. In California, police in Los Angeles say they dismantled a major organized crime group responsible for those jewelry heist thefts.
The LAPD says it, along with other Southern California police agencies and even the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, have dismantled an organized crime group responsible for jewelry and retail thefts nationwide. A search warrant executed in December led police to a larger group they say even stole jewelry in the UK and Canada. Investigators believe the group has been active since at least 2016. Detectives have recovered watches, jewelry, clothing, fake IDs, fake passports, and other documents. Police say they're trying to link the group to additional crimes. 2 of the alleged group members are in custody. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A new record for the Eagles. The band's 1976 album, their greatest hits, 1971 and 1975, now the first to hit sales of 40 million units. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I'm Angela Bassett. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option for epinephrine. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low near 15 below. Extreme cold warning for a wind chill near 40 below. Sunshine tomorrow, a high of 5 below. Cold weather advisory Friday p.m. for wind chills 20 to 30 below. Bitter cold sticks around through the weekend. Currently, it's 6.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy.
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's alright.
And now, a guy who wanted to be in porn but didn't have the acting chops, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome, folks. It is time for hour number 2 of Nite Lite, a Thursday edition. It is the Christmas Eve of weeknights, as we like to call it here. A glorious Thursday evening where we are doing our best to stay warm in Northeast Wisconsin, as well as really throughout the Midwest. We had Mace Michaels on last night who said I think, Conrad, it sounded like Minneapolis, St. Paul was even colder. And I know they get some serious winter weather over there.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible, but
I know.
It is. It's going to be pretty chilly, and
Yeah.
got to bundle up.
We're dealing with it. It'll be fine. We'll get through it. Hope you're staying warm tonight, folks. We had a great hour number one. If you missed hour number one live, you can check it out at civicmedia.us. We talked about a lot of fun things. We had we tried to break radio history or new ground in radio by airing one of my classic Pete sneezes. That was an accident. Now, that was when I was recording the Hollywood Beats that I do here at Civic Media every day that typically play at the bottom of the hour. Conrad thought it would be funny not to erase the sneeze, but rather play the sneeze. And I backed the decision fully, but I know it's I'm coming off a cold. It's not a good sound. Sometimes you can have a more whimsical kind of clean sneeze where it's just loud and crazy like most of mine are. But that sneeze says cold.
You know, we do have a couple texts about it, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Where are those? On the text line?
Well, Steady Eddie, yeah. He has something to say about your sneeze, and so does my dad.
Your dad commented on my sneeze?
Yes, he did.
Your dad and I are in cahoots on a lot of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he said, Pete, that sounds exactly like one of my sneezes.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not that bad.
All right, we'll get to those. We're going to read the text in just a few minutes and get caught up because our question of the night, you know what, Con? Let's just reintroduce the Nite Lite question of the night. That's not it.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
How do you feel about swearing? Do you let your kids swear? Are you okay with it? Thoughts on swearing? Couch potatoes. 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. Let us know. You can also text us on the app, which is very easy to use, the Civic Media app, or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X, you can drop us a stream comment, and I will read it on the radio proudly and make you part of tonight's show. The first hour, we talked about, my sneeze, and it was kind of maybe the grossest hour we've done here at Nite Lite in a couple of years, because I also talked about clipping a fingernail that went into my coffee, and I scooped it out and I muscled it down anyway because we were out of coffee. And I would have had to get in the car and go to the store and get more coffee, and I wasn't going to do that. I don't even think I would have done that in the summer, much less when it's like 5 degrees out. So you missed that. You can catch it all in the first hour in podcast form at civicmedia.us. My guests tonight, we also talked with Ryan Albers, who is chairing a great event called New Top Dog. It is a great contest here in Northeast Wisconsin where people submit pictures of their dogs. The general public can vote on the cutest dog, and all the proceeds, they've raised $700,000 since 2020, go to pet rescues and kids in need. It's a great program, and it starts January 26th. You can submit your own dog for $10, and if you win, his or her picture will be on the side of a beer can. There is no swimsuit competition, so we don't need to demean the dogs. It's just a very wholesome competition, so you can check that out. Coming up after news, sports, and weather at the bottom of the hour, Hannah Lopez will be here from NBC 26. She covers Door County and does a great job. She is going to make the popcorn pick of the week. When Hannah leaves this studio, we will have a movie pick that we can check out this long, cold weekend. And in hour number 3, Irish author Molly Aitken joins me over the stream. That is pre-recorded content that will air at 7:35 and take us to the end of the show. She was so much fun to talk to and a really, really excellent author and prolific. She's had like 2 books published in the last 5 years, and she's got another one in the works, so someone to keep an eye on. But a lot of fun here so far at Nite Lite. But let us know your answer to the question of the night, and we'll have some fun with that, too. Do we have a caller?
Yeah, Ollie from the North Woods.
Ollie from the North Woods. I'm familiar with her work. Hi, Ollie.
Hi. Well, I probably will upset a lot of people, but I don't like swearing. We didn't swear when we were kids. We might have said, "oh, rats" or something, but we never swore. And I remember one time saying "shoot," and my sister said I said the S word. And no, indeedy, I did not. But I was 40 years old, and I was still getting in trouble.
Listen, Ollie, I'm with you, okay? In a perfect world, there's no swearing. But I just kind of, with all the problems in the world, I'm not going to focus. I don't make it the number one problem, if that makes sense. But I would still prefer a world. Yeah, exactly. It's we can.
Actually, the other night, I thought a swear word, and the other two people who live with me said, "Uh-oh, what are you doing?" And that's me, myself, and I. The three of us live together, and apparently the other two didn't like that I was even thinking that word. So,
my question, Ollie, is: do you wash your own mouth out with soap when you have a slip up?
no.
Okay,
No.
all right, that's smart too.
My mom used to do that, though. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know a lot
there
of
were
people.
no slip-ups in
Yeah.
our house.
Sounds like she meant business. Ollie, you're the best. Thank you so much for the call tonight. Stay warm and have a great night.
Okie doke. Bye-bye.
All right. Ollie from the North Woods. So let's get some texts in here. We've got some good text responses here. Let's go up to the top of the list here for our question of the night. I read our texts from John Murray, who told us about the most disgusting thing in the world, the toenail shot.
I'd just try it.
What, do you go into the bar and say, I'd like to do a toenail shot? They're going to lock you up.
Usually, so what happened is that one of my friends lost a bet and he had to do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe also I've seen fantasy football punishments like their last place have to do that. It's literally at the end of the night, all those drinks, all those whatever in the bar, go into a shot glass and you have to drink it.
That is
whoever actually
vile
created that had to be in some sort of
masochist.
He was getting a punishment.
Oh man, that's worse than sucking an actual old fat guy's dirty toenail. That's so awful. Who thinks of that?
It's all alcohol, right? So
it's dudes and alcohol, and that is a dangerous combination.
Yeah.
Steve from Florida, Conrad's dad says, "Thanks, Conrad, for not swearing in front of your mom." And then parenthetically, even though I know you have heard her swear. I totally threw Paula
Dad,
under the bus.
Well, Dad, I have sworn in front of Mom, so.
He's sworn 10 times just tonight, Steve. Off the air, thank God, but
I mean, even on air, but luckily I had the swear, the bleep, otherwise it would have been chaos.
You need a bleep button when you just walk around out in the streets just to
just have it around.
Not offend people.
Have it right on me.
Matt from Richland Center in the 608 says, "Love it. My uncle taught me all the swears as a little kid. My grandma told me I'd go to hell and never see my parents again if I kept saying the F word." See, that is just diabolical. That's worse than swearing. I've heard the same grandma say the F word multiple times a day. Great memories. Matt, that is a great text. Thank you, sir. From the 202, it's important to teach your kids how to swear. It's a skill like anything else. That's not only what swear words are and what they mean, but when and where you shouldn't swear. Also important is what words should never, ever be used. That's great context, because you're right. They're going to do it one way or the other, so tell them when it's appropriate. If a kid's going to touch himself, go to your bedroom and shut the door. Same with swearing. Barb from Waukesha in the 262. My parents didn't swear, and my 4 oldest siblings never swear. My brother and I, the youngest of the siblings, like to partake in naughty words. I find swearing to be therapeutic when extremely upset. A lot of people agree with you, Barb. Barb says a study was done not too long ago that proves the benefit of letting one fly when upset. Swear away, F, and then a bunch of those things. We know what you meant, Barb. There's only one F word, and it's the granddaddy of them all. Yes. Monica from Mount Horeb in the 608 says, "I swear way too much. Don't have kids. My cats probably swear in their own way because they live with me." You are a bad influence on your cats, Monica. I think that's great. I'm sure, trust me, cats swear more. Dogs are too friendly and dumb to swear. They just but cats, those are,
oh yeah.
If they could, they're dropping F-bombs, C-bombs, CS bombs, all the stuff. They're saying it. Matt from Eau Claire says, "It's a noise made by the human body, exactly the same as if one were to verbalize the phrase organized religion, which I find more offensive than get the F out of here. It's historically caused more damage. There's certainly an argument to be made there, Matt. He says, in Old English, the F word means to smite. I endeavor to utilize my entire vocabulary, and what do you want to do? Smite, fight, or foot race? Doesn't roll off the tongue. Wow. That was some serious... Matt is a man of letters when it comes to texting. That was fantastic. Thank you, buddy. Daniel from Menasha. Oh, it's our buddy Danny Wheels. Says, my wife and I refrained from swearing around our son as he grew up. Parenthetically, in private, we swear like a couple of roughnecks on an oil rig. Now he's an adult and naturally does not like to hear us swear. So if I stub my toe and my son is within earshot, out of respect to him, you'll hear me say, mother of pearl, through clenched teeth.
I cannot hear that phrase without like a pirate accent.
I don't believe he does that. I don't believe Daniel. Daniel's like an open enough guy. I bet you $10 he swears in front of his kids. Chris Casper, our pal at Civic Media, our tech whiz pal, says studies show that people who swear are more intelligent.
That's why I'm so smart.
Exactly. And I think Chris is basically saying, by saying that he swears. Thank you, buddy. Matt from Eau Claire again. This is my pooch. The gal I was seeing when I got him saw a Labradoodle named Barley. My boy is Hops. State law. Did he put a picture on there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good-looking dog. How sad is it? My eyes go right to the girl in the bikini behind the dog, even though it's a cartoon.
I did the same thing, but, cute dog.
Cute dog and a lovely cartoon girl, Matt. I was waiting for Matt to say that's actually my girlfriend. Steady Eddie in the 608 says, Pete, your ginormous sneeze could be your superhero superpower. The Schwabinator sneeze would literally blow the bad guys away. Go ahead, punk. Make my sneeze. That's the only sneeze I've ever heard with a whiplash recoil. Respect in all caps, baby. You damn right. Steady Eddie. Steve from Florida says, we might have swore line sailors. We might have swore like sailors in the Krieger family, but our sneezes have always been quiet and discreet, I think he means.
Yes.
I knew people do that. I knew a couple girls in college. One of them would sneeze like this. It would just be like, choo, choo. And it was like, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I would have a heart attack if I tried to hold a sneeze in, as you all know now. All right, when we come back, what are we going to do, Con? Let's read some more texts, and we'll talk Oscars.
Happy New Year.
We got to get that. Happy New Year, everybody. And we are talking Oscar nominations next. They are in, and they are spectacular. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
TV dinners and ginger ale. Oh, and Pierre found work, the little money coming worked out well. C'est la vie, said the old folks, goes to show you never can tell.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
It's time for Eye on the Community on WGBW, sponsored by Insight Eye Care, serving the Fox Valley since 1972 with comprehensive eye care services. Find them on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Their goal is to improve lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today. Here's what's happening in our area. Has winter got you feeling bluer than the blue moon of Kentucky? Colder than a cold, frosty morning? More lonesome than a moonlight waltz? Join the Wick Snippers for their monthly Bluegrass Jam. An open, casual evening of pickin', grinnin', and high lonesome singing at Titletown Brewing Company, 320 North Broadway on the first Thursday of the month. Hang for a beer and experience the power of good community and its effects on the soul. This has been your Eye on the Community, brought to you by Insight Eye Care. If it's happening in the Green Bay area, it's on WGBW.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Passengers in time, as the emotion locked together. Day and night by trick of light, I must take another journey. Must meet with other names.
This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. You've got the Civic Media Radio Network. We are jamming through a Thursday night show here. The popcorn pick of the week is moments away, folks. Hannah Lopez from NBC 26 will be joining me here in the studio, ready to give you a movie pick that you can take into this ridiculously cold weekend. You're going to need something to watch. If you tell me you're going ice fishing or snowmobiling, I'm going to think you're certifiable. The high tomorrow in Marinette, I believe, is going to be 14 below. I think in Green Bay, it's going to be 15 below. Milwaukee, like 5 below. That's the high. And Madison, maybe not quite as cold, but cold. So stay warm, everybody. We've got a great question tonight. How do you feel about swearing? Are you okay with your kids swearing? In a poll, this was on BuzzFeed, 47% of parents say profanity is never okay from their children. Another 47% say it depends. And 6% say kids swearing is no big deal. I wouldn't say I'm in the no big deal category, but I don't freak out about it. 45% of parents admit their kids probably picked it up from them. At least parents are like coming clean, you know? So I'm not, it is what it is, right? Our question of the night is, how do you feel about swearing? Let us know. Wait a minute. What is this, Con? What is happening? Is that John Murray?
John Murray, yeah, on the text line.
All right. John in the 608 says, hi, Peter and Conrad. When my daughter was 5, we were enjoying Thanksgiving at Mom's house with 16 family members. When my grandma Gigi asked Shannon an innocent question about a school contest selling candles for prizes, she very casually replied, I didn't win a GD thing. I would lose. That would make me laugh hysterically.
Yes.
A needle came off the record and I turned red. One moment of silence, and then we all went back to it and no one said another word about it. Classic mimic. Yeah, but I think that's good that you didn't say anything, John, because, if you laughed at it, you encourage her. If you get furious with her, she's going to probably want to do it again. That's probably the appropriate response. Chris Casper says, we've got Florida on the text line tonight. How much snow are y'all getting there tonight? Did we have Florida?
My dad.
Oh, yeah, of course. Paula and Steve. Chris wants to know. Chris is stuck here in Wisconsin with the rest of us. Bridget in the 818 says, swearing doesn't bother me. Sometimes you need those words to express yourself clearly. If kids are in their 20s, I don't mind. No swearing for youngsters, though. Youngsters.
I love that word.
I do, too. Someone else used that word recently. It was great. All right, keep those texts coming, folks. Love reading your texts. We've also got some social media texts we need to get to. But the Oscar nominations are out. This is exciting. Rob Thomas will be here tomorrow to discuss the nominations that were just announced this morning. There will be a list of them in my Hollywood Beats tomorrow in terms of Best Actor, Best Actresses nominated, and Best Pictures. So many great ones. Let me see if I can pull these up quick. So the Best Picture nominees, there are 10. They did that recently. And Sinners is nominated for Best Picture, got 16, and that is a new record. And according to Variety, they shattered the previous record, and I agree with that. The previous record is 14 nominations in 1 year, set by All About Eve, La La Land, and Titanic. And you might go, 2, that's not really a shatter. It is, because when that record was broken, think about it. All About Eve, 40s, 50s maybe, and then Titanic in 97, La La Land in, 2015, something like that. It does not happen often, and those were ties. Sinners beat that by 2. So that's pretty incredible. Warner Brothers, thanks to Sinners and One Battle After Another, received 30 nominations, 29 between One Battle After Another and Sinners. So the Best Picture nominees for this year are Begonia, that's the Emma Stone film, Yorgos Lanthimos. F1, the Brad Pitt-fueled film. See what it did there, Conrad?
Yep.
It's a film about racing, and I
Yep.
said fueled.
Great.
Not many radio hosts would make that connection like that, or sneeze like I do. Just saying. You know, I rarely beg for compliments, but I guess I'm doing it there. Frankenstein from Netflix, and I think Jacob Elordi also got a Best Supporting Actor nomination for his role as the monster. Hamnet is also up for Best Picture. There's 10 of them. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams, a movie I've been talking about that you can see on Netflix. Really enjoyed Train Dreams. I don't think it has a chance of winning, but I think your top 3, based on what I've heard, I have no inside knowledge whatsoever. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and maybe a dark horse, The Secret Agent. It's a foreign film from Brazil. But I know everybody's been talking about One Battle After Another, but I think the fact that Sinners got 16 nominations, they're getting a lot of love from the Academy. And Sinners might be, I know it's a vampire film, but it's not wall-to-wall vampires. There's a vampire element to it, and it's great. I could easily see Sinners winning Best Picture. Now, I haven't seen Marty Supreme. Conrad's raved about it. My son Joe, who reviews films here periodically, raves about it. Everybody loves Marty Supreme.
You know, I think that Marty Supreme has a really good chance.
At Best Picture.
You know what I'm really happy for the Oscars this year? Is that Adrian Brody's not in contention.
Oh, man. Well, he's still giving a speech from last year.
The tremendous
he's still going.
Outpouring of love that I've
last
felt.
year, right?
He's still going.
The guy's got some pipes. I'm gonna just throw it out there. Dark horse winner is gonna be Sinners. It's got every element of filmmaking, including an incredible soundtrack. And why can't a film with a couple of vampires win an Oscar?
I do agree. I did recently watch it, and I liked it.
It's excellent, and it's not my favorite. I liked One Battle After Another better, but I could see Sinners just has all those components. All right, we're coming right back to make the popcorn pick of the week with NBC 26's Hannah Lopez. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
Why are these lights so bright? Did we get hit last night?
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 9 governors in the South declaring states of emergency ahead of a looming ice storm. Temperatures in the teens and single digits could leave parts of the nation's midsection crippled for days with an ice storm. Tennessee officials say they could receive up to a half an inch of snow and ice. ABC's Ginger Z has more.
Now, it all starts, we can tell you, Friday night through Saturday morning. Dallas, across I-20, or I-40, not good. Over to Little Rock, Nashville again. Louisville and Cincinnati are on the snowy side of this.
Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in Russia holding meetings with the Kremlin on carving out a peace deal with Ukraine. President Trump met on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum with Ukraine's President Zelensky. And Zelensky announced there would be trilateral meetings between Ukraine, the U.S., and Russia in the United Arab Emirates later this week. At the World Economic Forum, President Trump also announced details of his Peace Board initiative aimed at helping rebuild Gaza, he says, after the Israel-Hamas war. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low near 15 below. Extreme cold warning for a wind chill near 40 below. Sunshine tomorrow, a high of 5 below. Cold weather advisory Friday p.m. for wind chills 20 to 30 below. Bitter cold sticks around through the weekend. Currently, it's 6.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
Civic Media.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless.
It's time for the Nite Lite Popcorn Pick of the Week, where we recommend a movie that you'll either enjoy or won't. Here's your host, Pete Schwaba.
All right, welcome back. Fun night here, folks. Great to have you with me. It is Thursday. Hope you're staying warm. It is going to be crazy. The high is going to be in the negative teen digits tomorrow. So, do what you want with that. If you're that kind of person that's going to go to a sporting contest and take your shirt off, you're probably going to love it. But it's not for me. So whatever you do, stay warm. Conrad, you going to wear shorts tomorrow?
I was thinking about it.
Conrad's that Wisconsin shorts guy in the winter.
God.
Hannah, what do you think about that?
I cannot imagine it. I saw a post on Facebook like that, and I was like, it's starting already? I was like, it's too early in the season for that.
Could you do a story about that?
Like Wisconsin folk or Midwest
Wisconsin
folk?
short guys.
Oh,
short
gosh.
guys. In the winter.
You can interview me,
I
if
can
you like.
yeah.
I'll wear my best
Your
shorts that day.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to avoid having other people go out in shorts, and we're not trying to promote that sort of like,
You wanna
quote,
encourage.
dangerous activity. So
That is the voice of Hannah Lopez. She covers Door County for NBC 26 here in Green Bay and does such a great job. She's been on the show before, and she is a fellow DePaul Blue Demon, and it's so great when she is here in the studio. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
But,
When I got here so early today because I had this other stuff to do, it was probably, 15. It wasn't so bad. That's still, wait a minute. That's still awful.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. I'm like walking over here today going, when I leave the studio, it's going to be horrible.
I was talking to a guy earlier this week, and I think it was like, it wasn't Monday, because Monday I did a cold weather story, and I was like, this is horrible. Nobody should be out in this. I think it was like yesterday or something. He's like, oh, it's 20 degrees. It's awesome. I'm going to have a barbecue later. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
You need to be checked out.
Yeah.
That's very strange. So you're a Chicago girl. I mean, it's not like, I always feel like Chicago people, I have this issue when I'm there, I'm a cheesehead. And when I'm here, I'm a fib because I grew up the first part of my life in Chicago and I spent years there as an adult. But they always act like, oh my God, Wisconsin. How do you handle Wisconsin in the winter? I'm like, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's a little colder maybe, but come on.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
I posted a picture. It was, again, yesterday or 2 days ago of my iced coffee in the car. It froze. And then it brought back like this wave of nostalgia. I went to Lincoln Park High School, and there's a Starbucks on Armitage. I would be in my layers, and I'd have my Starbucks like this, like a little baby, like holding it, so I didn't have to hold it with my hands. And I was like, I need to learn a lesson. It's not that bad. But people act like you're breaking some sort of law when you get cold drinks in the winter.
Listen, I still eat ice cream once in a while in the winter because, I'm
That's
not
what you're
outside.
supposed to do.
Yeah. Do you have any insights for us? You're in the news game. You're a journalist. Do you have something where if something came over the wire that says it's actually not going to be as cold as we thought?
I have horrible news for you.
Oh, no, it's going to be worse.
It's weather. I made this analogy yesterday. Shout out to meteorologists and forecasters. Being a meteorologist or a forecaster is like gambling. And I'm really bad at gambling, and they're just kicking butt doing it. They'll be like, these are the models we're looking at. Between all of them, this is this. And I'm like, I know a lot of people will be like, I don't trust meteorologists. Just know that their job is it's like a guessing game. And shout out to them for being able.
Yeah. You report what you see or facts.
They report something that's happening
that might or might not happen. Yeah.
And I said that yesterday. I was like, I am horrible at gambling. Like, I can't do that. Would never be able to.
What do you gamble?
Nothing. My dad played poker when we were growing up, and like he taught me how to count with poker cards, but I like have not picked it up. I don't want to know how to play it. I don't have any interest in card games
How do you know you're bad at it then?
Because I just have a gut feeling. If I play 21, the first thing I'm going to do is go too high and lose all my money. So I'm just like, I'll play the slots.
You're going to get a 20 and hit.
Yeah. I'll be like, that's it.
How do you feel about swearing?
Are you talking about the kids debate?
The kids debate, or are you a swearer? You know, you strike me as someone who might do the fair share of swearing.
Okay, here's my favorite mom story ever. When I was a kid, obviously your parents are like, don't swear, like that's bad, it's bad manners, da da da. I would go to school and I'd be like, you'll never guess. And I'll just started ripping words, and I did it at school so my friends could hear me, and obviously my mom's not there. I wouldn't do it in front of teachers. But as I get older, I'm like hearing these little like 12-year-olds, and I'm like, where did you learn that? Because the stuff they're saying is not like I shouldn't say traditional, but like cuss words we grew up.
Right.
I'm saying
the
we
basics.
like,
Yeah.
But they're just saying things that I'm like, who is teaching you this? Got out of my car. What are you talking about?
I know. It's like sometimes they're like cutting edge. When I went with the classics, you know, and I would swear when I was away from the house, and my friends
that's how
and I
you're
would
supposed to do it.
Yeah, and it's like occasionally, you know, one of my younger siblings would hear it, and I'm like, oh no,
This
here we
is
go.
it. Yep.
I'm done.
Not seeing light of day for another week. Yeah.
Exactly. So, do you ever wish you could swear on camera?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Because I think this is just my 2 cents. I think it does look kind of unprofessional / inappropriate.
Yeah.
But I know there are some times where like people slip up, and that's a rule they teach you is like, even when the camera's off, it's on.
Yeah.
Just
don't
stop talking.
Right.
Yeah. Stop talking. Don't say anything. Just stop talking.
I had to teach myself that too, because I would say something. I mean, Conrad's probably got dirt on me, aside from a bad sneeze I just did. But like with the swear words, and you know, and you're a professional, you would never, I mean, but I would imagine sometimes I see news people and I'm like, oh, they must just want to tell that person off or whatever, but you can't do that.
Being in the news is a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's so difficult. For me, I had somebody compliment me earlier because I carry my equipment over my shoulder, and they're like, no offense or anything, but you're like this big. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. The camera's bigger than you. And I'm like, it's fine. I kind of just laugh it off, even when folks are not the best to be dealing with.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna give you your space. I respect that you were talking to me. You weren't talking to me. Respect how you're feeling about whatever, but, enjoy the rest of your day. I worked in customer service before this, so I'm one of those enjoy the rest of your day people. I worked at Starbucks and I worked at Nordstrom Rack. So I'm like very...
So that's kind of rude to say. If for some reason it's okay to say, when people are, I don't know, when people say, oh, you're really short, do you get upset by that?
I get over it. Yeah. My mom's 5 foot.
Okay.
My youngest sister, my youngest sister is taller than me. She's like 5'2" or 5'3". My middle sister and I constantly have this debate every time I see her. She's like, I'm taller than you. I'm like, no, she's 18 turning 19, but she's like, I'm taller than you. I'm like, no, you're not. And this is a debate we have had for like going on like years. And I'm like, I'm over it. It sucks. My kids are not going to be like athletes, but I'm like, sorry.
You know how tall I am?
5'6", 5'7", 6 foot. I don't know.
This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for stopping in, Hannah. I am a muscular 6 foot.
Wow.
No. I think I've shrunk a little. I think I'm like 5'11" and a half, but I have a brother that's 6'7", my youngest brother, Andrew, and then my other brother, Tim, is 6'3". I'm the runt of the... Conrad just did the 6'7".
I had
can't
somebody
believe I
say that
did
earlier to me. They were like 6 or 7, and I was just like trying not to say anything.
I don't know why that's become so funny.
It's just like, and I've seen parents use it against their kids now, like online. They'll be like 6'7", and the kids don't want to use it anymore. And I'm fine with that because I didn't know what it meant. I had to look it up, like when it was first really, really big, and I was like, well, that's stupid. It's just like lyrics.
Yeah.
And then the more and more, it's just like kind of become part of my vocabulary, like unintentionally. If somebody goes like, oh, like 6 or 7, I'm like 6'7", and it's just like a week ago was not saying this, but.
My wife is a kindergarten teacher, and she talks with her
saying
hands
it?
all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
Kindergarten.
good grief.
She does this, and the kids will be like, and they
They're
start
waiting,
looking
they're
around.
waiting.
Or if she says one of the letter, like 6, they'll go, and
Oh
they're
my gosh.
kindergartners. And I
They're
would crack
funny.
up at that. Exactly. All right. Well, we brought you in here tonight to talk about movies.
Yes.
You're a fan?
Yes.
Let's talk movies. What is your favorite genre of movie?
Probably comedy.
Comedy.
I mean-
Straight up comedy, rom-com.
I'm very big into like straight up comedy. My favorite movie genre-ish, going into more specific, is like the SNL branch off comedies.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay.
So I'm a fan
Tommy
of-
Boy
yeah,
or
Tommy
yeah,
Boy.
nice.
I constantly am like, Richard. I think that's that in Wayne's World. I could probably recite that from memory.
You know, I am so due for a Wayne's World rewatch. The both
That's
of them. I like
amazing.
the first
Yeah.
two. I thought were both great. All right, that's good to know. And where do you typically like to watch your movies? Do you go to the theater for that shared experience, or are you more of a homebody?
I watch them at home. It's not because I can't sit in a theater. It's just like I get to lay in my blankets. I can like get up
Yeah.
at any point and go make myself whatever to eat instead of getting up 109 times and disrupting people, like being like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry," like excuse me, like.
Right.
And nobody wants that when you're in a movie theater.
That's true. I don't see. I'm different in the sense that I like to watch movies in the theater because I don't get up as much. I don't look at my phone when I'm home. I'm like, oh, I should really do that dish before I restart the movie. Oh, I'm going to use the restroom. Oh, I should call my friend back. Or
Whoever,
whatever.
yeah.
I look for excuses not to watch the movie, whereas I'm in the theater, I'm watching the movie. So
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I like. It's not that I'm on my phone at the movie theater, but then I just become more like. I don't want to say jumpy, but more like fidgety. And then when I'm at home, I'm like, okay, my phone is over here. I
Yeah.
am right here. TV's right there. And so we tend to watch at home a lot more just because I'm like, this is just comfy. And also, we don't have to leave and like, we don't have to pay for stuff. I'm a big believer in like the dollar store candies you bring to the movie
Yeah.
theaters. So I'm like, we don't got to go to do that. We have
Right.
stuff at home.
I know. And that's how they get you at the theater, too, like with sporting
$13
events.
for Twix. Why am I paying $13 for one bar?
Right. Or the Coke. Give me a medium Coke. Would you like a large for a dime more?
Yeah.
Like, no, just give me what I ordered. But that's a big thing with them. They're pushing that all the time. All right. So do you have a favorite movie snack, Hannah?
Nachos. I love a good nachos from the movie theaters. They're not the best quality. Yeah, that's the point. They're the bag of chips you open. The cheese is like half cold, that it has that little rim around it. You don't just avoid that. Then you got the movie like jalapenos that are like way too
Yes.
soggy.
The jalapeno, here's my issue with the cheese is disgusting. And in Marinette, when I go to the movies, I'll say, and make sure to please heat up the cheese. And this is what a guy said to me about 3 months ago. He goes, oh, you want to heat it up? Yeah, no, give me cold, gross nacho cheese. Who would not want that heated up? Because I can't, the only way I can stomach that cheese is with tons of jalapenos to offset, you know. So I'm with you there. Okay, nachos, same, great. What about popcorn?
Okay, so I have a big. Every time I eat popcorn, it is a fight because I always somehow, some way, get a kernel stuck in my tooth, and then for the rest of the night, I'm like, this is gonna this is gonna ruin my night if I don't get floss within the next 20 seconds. And obviously, when you're out, you don't have floss.
You can't
easily
floss in a
accessible.
movie.
Exactly. So I
Right.
look like a nutcase trying to like get my straw all the
Right.
way back there, and so I'm just not. It's not for me.
All right,
at
that
the
makes
theater.
sense. That makes. I'm with you. I don't like I've said this before. Like when I don't really ever order movie popcorn, but if I take some, I'm eating the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get addicted to it quickly, but I don't
And
really.
the butter too. I've never been a huge fan of like over buttery
Right.
popcorn, and some people like love buttery popcorn to the point where it's like the bottom of the container's like greasy.
And you can never really wash it off your hands either.
Yeah.
All right, Hannah Lopez is here, folks. She's making the popcorn pick of the week. We will get that when we come back. We're having a little talk about movies here. She's in the studio. Check her out at NBC 26 here in Green Bay. We're coming right back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
And she can't do a thing to me. I just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can sway.
Step back into the golden age of rock and roll. Saturday, January 24th, the historic Riverside Ballroom invites you to relive the magic with John Mueller's Winter Dance Party, honoring the unforgettable sounds of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Doors swing open at 6 and the show begins at 7:30. Enjoy classic concessions and a night filled with memories that never fade. Visit riversideballroom.com to get your tickets. Don't miss this rock and roll time machine.
Badger State Brewing is ready to serve you this dry January with a refreshing non-alcoholic hoppy water, a crisp, hop-infused sparkling water. Try the original or sip on the new citrus hoppy water for a bright burst of flavor. Check out their Barrel House Event Hall, the perfect setting with a spacious, rustic chic venue for birthdays, weddings, or any party worth hosting. Check out the Friday Acoustic Music Series inside the tap room. See local Wisconsin artists every Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. while enjoying a brewski or a cold hoppy water.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Pete Schwaba, this is Nite Lite. Great to have you here, folks, on this Thursday night. We are inching ever closer to our popcorn pick of the week. Compliments of my in-studio guest here, Hannah Lopez, who covers Door County for NBC 26, one of my favorite areas of the state. She gets to live there, and a little different than Chicago, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people from Chicago go up there, Illinois in general. It's always my favorite whenever there's something Illinois sticking out. And I'm like, what part are you, where are you from? And they're like, I'm from here. And I'm like, no way. And they're like, are you from there? I was like, yes.
I love it. So we're talking movies. We're talking about snacks. Let me ask you this, Hannah, as before we ask you for your pick. Do you have a favorite movie cocktail? Do you like to go to those theaters where they serve food and drinks? And if so, what is your drink of choice? Or if you stay home, like with your boyfriend or something, what are you mixing yourselves?
We went once to a theater in, I think it was like Naperville, Aurora area. I think it was more Naperville, but it's called like the Palm Theater, Palm something. I don't remember what movie we were seeing, but it had like just been released, and I got a Red Bull, and that was kind of it. I'm not a big drinker during movies.
Okay.
Or like at all, but if I do, I'll just go for like whatever we have in the fridge. I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy any alcohol for this. I'm like,
can I suggest you should celebrate movies more? You should make a nice mocktail.
I'm trying.
Or something. Okay. Because they are a treasure. Movies are
100%. I was watching a documentary about 1975, and it was on Netflix, but like, you know, it's the documentary, whatever they want to call it. But I was just like, art is something that a lot of people seem to forget has like slowly, movie art has slowly disintegrated. And I'm like, they were talking about like Chinatown and what was the other movie? Oh, good grief. Like the one that flew over the cuckoo's nest, like stuff like that. Martin Scorsese, Taxi Driver, stuff like that. How all these movies are like not only political, but they have these messages. A lot of folks really needed to sit there, resonate, and like be like, oh my God, I get it now.
Yeah. See, that's all right. And that's how I am as I've gotten older, too. I truly appreciate these works of art. Like, I cannot believe some of them are masterpieces. And I'll tell you what, if you get more into movies and make mocktails or cocktails at home, I will start tailgating before all of your
that's hilarious
exposés or stories air on NBC. What?
Don't do that. That's every day.
Yeah, I'd have to drink a lot. All right. Have you ever snuck booze into a theater?
No, I'm not that risky.
Not that risky. Okay.
I barely have enough room in my purse for everything else I carry. I'm like, these little 99s are not gonna fit. Just not gonna bother.
All right. What about this? Have you ever? You seem like a very confident person. Like you mentioned, you're not tall in stature, but you strike me being a journalist and having that background and being a city girl from Chicago. I would imagine you're someone not to be messed with.
I would like to say that. My boyfriend looks at me and he goes, "Oh, you're like a little chihuahua," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he means it in like a very sincere way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, come on, dude. Like, this is so fun for me.
So, all right, knowing that, if people were talking during a movie, would you let them have it? Would you say something?
Would I say something? At this point in my life, I'd just be like, hey, can you guys like stop? Or like, if it's getting to a point, I would definitely be like, hey, like chill out. I know that happened recently, like on TikTok with Broadway, that it was like a whole debacle. Somebody was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have
it was
3
like
followers.
That's awesome.
I'm getting there.
Making it big.
I'm a force.
Yeah. There was like a whole thing about Broadway, how you're not supposed to sing at musicals, and the person called like security being like, these people are screaming. Like I asked them the first time and it was all recorded. My thing with that is I don't want to be recorded. If I'm just like being like, hey, the first time, can you please stop? And then it just starts escalating even more. I'm just like,
that's a great
I'll
answer.
bring up security, but like you're not going to like it and it's going to be recorded.
And you're the journalist. You don't want to be the story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the last thing you need.
Exactly.
All right. I think we've got all the information we need. It is time to get Hannah Lopez's popcorn pick of the week. Conrad, if you please. Fire away.
I'm going to go with The Birdcage.
Oh, wow. Nice. Robin Williams.
Nathan Lane.
Gene Hackman?
Nathan
Lane. Wow, that's a killer cast. That's great.
That is one
When's the last time you saw that?
Probably like last month.
Really? Is it one of your guilty pleasures? Like
The Birdcage is.
I am so due for a rewatch.
What's his name? Oh my God, Hank
Azaria.
Yes, Azaria.
Yes, he's great in that.
Oh my gosh,
that is a great cast.
I got my brother to watch it. My brother was like, "This is the funniest I've ever seen," and I was like, "I did not think you were gonna like this at all." He thought it was hilarious. I was like, "This is awesome."
See, you said at the beginning you like more of the SNL spinoff type comedies. That is not that.
No, not at all.
It's just a great comedy.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that, like, not only is it aesthetically pleasing to watch, but it's just, like, the cast is such a killer lineup. I mean,
Yeah.
the Piran tablets. There's a scene for folks who haven't seen it where Nathan Lane's character is they own a drag bar in South Beach. Nathan Lane's character is one of the main people come out to see their character, and they're going crazy upstairs because I don't know what. And Hank's character goes up there, and it's the house person, and Nathan Lane's like, "Oh my God, I need the Piran tablets," and Robin Williams goes, "Piran?" And Hank goes, "It's aspirin. I just scratched off the A in the N, or the A,
Yes.
something like that." And it's just such a good movie. There's so many things that you could pick out of there, and
That is outstanding. That is this week's popcorn pick of the week, folks. Compliments of one of our favorite journalists here in the Green Bay area, Hannah Lopez, who works for NBC 26. Birdcage, check it out. I am totally due for a rewatch. Can we keep you for a few minutes after the news and talk about some other stuff that we've got? I've got a whole agenda here.
I believe it. You're a journalist. You're a radio journalist.
You hear that, Conrad? Finally, some respect. Do I dare play the sneeze for Hannah?
Yeah.
Let's hear. Tell me.
Wow.
Isn't that awful?
That is like a cartoon one.
That's like one of the most
Very
disgusting
cartoony.
things. That's Pete getting over a cold sneeze. That's like DEFCON 5. It's horrible. All right, we're coming right back for Act 3. Hannah Lopez is going to stick around for a few minutes. Irish author Molly Aitken will be here at 7:35, folks, and we'll read some of your texts, too, when we come back. Join us. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
First thing I remember, I was lying in my bed. I couldn't have been no more than
If it happens in Wisconsin, you'll hear about it on the station with local news and timeless hits. 97.9 FM, WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A monster storm about to sweep its way across much of the U.S. Watches and warnings stretching from Montana to Maine and from New Mexico to the Carolinas. ABC's Whit Johnson.
From across the Atlanta area to Jackson, Missouri to Oklahoma City, parking lots and gas stations packed, shelves stripped bare. Delta canceling flights in 5 states, most airlines offering to waive change fees. New York City bracing for 6 to 12 inches of snow. Sanitation officials promising they're ready.
Vice President J.D. Vance making a stop in Minneapolis today, meeting with ICE agents. This comes amid increased scrutiny of the detention of a 5-year-old boy and his father by federal agents after arriving home from preschool. Gripping testimony on Capitol Hill for the first time in public. Former Special Prosecutor Jack Smith defending his decision to indict President Trump. Smith saying he had, quote, proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the president engaged in criminal activity. This is ABC News. The Eagles have reached another entertainment milestone.
This is just one of the songs on the Eagles' greatest hits, 1971 to 75, that was already the best-selling album of all time. Now it's the first to ever go quadruple diamond, selling over 40 million units, according to the Recording Industry Association of America. Leave it to the Eagles, though, to overachieve further.
Welcome to the Hotel
Their album Hotel California, which was released in 1976, has become the third best-selling album of all time. In between them, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The families of victims and NASA employees gathered together today at the Kennedy Space Center for the 40th anniversary of the Challenger shuttle disaster that killed all 7 on board back in 1986. The center's deputy director, Kevin Manning, reflecting on the impact of the tragedy, saying those painful lessons require constant vigilance now more than ever. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off. You've got this. Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low near 15 below. Extreme cold warning for a wind chill near 40 below. Sunshine tomorrow, a high of 5 below. Cold weather advisory Friday p.m. for wind chills 20 to 30 below. Bitter cold sticks around through the weekend. It's 5 right now.
Let's talk rechargeable battery safety with tips from the National Fire Protection Association. Only buy products with a safety certification mark. Charge devices on hard surfaces. Don't use off-brand cords and always unplug when fully charged. Charge into fire safety at fpw.org/battery.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
When a person calls 988, they're connected to a crisis counselor.
A caller can expect to talk about coping skills.
They can chat, they can text, and when they come out on the other side, they're feeling better.
Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Listen, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Let's put ourselves in the right position.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who believes a penny saved isn't jack Pete Schwaba.
It's true. Nothing. They might discontinue the penny anyway. And that was a great lead-in, Con, because we're talking about swearing
Exactly.
tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Act 3 is officially underway. If you missed the first 2 hours, head to civicmedia.us, and you can catch those in podcast form. In hour number 1, I talked to Ryan Albers, who is the event chairperson for New Top Dog. Go to newtopdog.com. It's a great event that raises money for pet rescues and kids. You can't beat it. And in the second hour, we made the popcorn pick of the week. My pal Hannah Lopez was here and talked and picked Birdcage.
Yeah.
That's a great one. In fact, we got a text. John Murray in the 608 says, that's the wrong one. He says, great popcorn pick. Going to rewatch tomorrow during the lockdown. See, in my opinion.
During the lockdown. You guys are so lucky.
You should get a taste of the profits on that because someone's going to rent Birdcage.
That's going to be amazing.
And the studio won't go. They'll be
I'll
like,
call Nathan
who's
Lane. Yeah.
Get on that. You're a journalist. You could put the fear of God into them. So that is also available at civicmedia.us. Con, I think it's time we reintroduce our question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
Pregunta. How do you feel about swearing? Do you let your kids swear? I've really mellowed out about this, folks. I have to say, when I was a kid, I did not swear in front of my parents. They were kind of more proper, and they just did not stand for it. And especially since I was the oldest, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Are you the oldest?
I am.
And there's a great comedian, Mike Dugan, who used to say, I was the youngest of 7. When my brothers were older, they couldn't do anything. By the time I got to high school, it was pretty much no heroin in the living room. And it's true. Like, my younger siblings got away with stuff I never...
I was just talking to my mom about that on the way over here.
Yeah.
My youngest sister, we're like constantly... My mom didn't let us go out on school nights.
Same.
My parents
More
were
or
like
less.
Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday if you're lucky.
Right.
Whatever. My sister's like, I'm going to Starbucks. My mom's like, okay. Like, it's one of those things. She's like, oh, can I go to the mall? But it's also because she's the only one at home. So my parents are like, she's not going to be here all the time. You know, we feel bad that she's the only one here. And I'm like, guys, what? I'm like, why are we doing this?
Doesn't sound like you've gotten over it.
No, I'm not. I'm not over it.
I don't even, like, when I was a kid in Chicago, in our hood, basically, my parents would say, I was the oldest, it was be home by dark. Because it was
That
the
was
city,
my mom's.
you know.
That was my
I know.
mom's.
So if other kids, they were running all over, they were in different neighborhoods, younger than me, I'm like, what is going on in that house? So I would try to get the party back to our yard, but
Oh my
when
God.
it didn't work, I
It's
just have to go home.
You're like, all right, good night, guys. Yeah. Oh
I'm
my
tired.
gosh.
I'm going to turn in. Yeah.
Well, my sister, so I took the bus and the train. My mom's like, no. My sister, that's the one thing she can't do is bus or train. I love a good public transportation system. I'm one of those people. Controversial. I miss the CTA. Like a lot of people have thoughts on that, but I do. I miss public transportation. I miss, being around people. Even though I have my headphones on, it's just like nice being like, oh, they're probably hating their morning too that they're cold on this train. But my sister's just no. My mom's like, no.
I'm totally with you. I'm kind of like an inside guy, and I'm a proud inside guy. I don't hunt or fish. I have fished, but it's not my thing. I don't snowmobile, and I like being around, and we talked about this during the break. I like being around people. I like living in a city.
Yeah.
I feel safer there rather than, like you said, out with the children of the corn or in cold blood.
That scares the
my
living
daylights
fear.
out of me.
In cold blood.
Yeah.
We'll never get over that. I read that in high school. I think about that constantly. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. Or there's an episode of That's So Raven where there's like a scarecrow that's like haunted. I think about that constantly, and my siblings make fun of me for it. They're like, why do you remember that? That's such like a what?
It's weird. Like you were talking about public transportation, and I remember like in college and when I was an adult and doing stand-up and stuff, riding the bus and the L and all that kind of stuff. And when you go back, when you've been gone for a while, like I live in Wisconsin now in a pretty remote area, which is very easy to live in. So when I go back to the city, I think I should pick it up. And I would take my kids there when they were younger. I'm like, well, just jump on the L. Come on, I got to. And then you go there, and it's like they've totally changed everything. You're like, oh, no.
They were changing the trains before I left, and that was like I shouldn't say the best thing ever, because there were like less seats, but then it had like this little like iPad thing being like, Jefferson Park is next, like Fullerton,
Right.
or obviously they announce your stops and everything. It would be like Clark and Lake. But it would say it on like this iPad, and I was like, this is awesome. Technology is great here.
You do have to do it often, though, because you get like, I'm in a bubble now. My little world is Marinette and Green Bay. I come here every day, and sometimes I go to Madison for my other gig, and I do the show from there. But it's all about familiarity. Yeah. Like, how long have you been in Northeast Wisconsin now? Year and a half?
Almost a year and a half.
Okay. And do you feel at home here?
Yes and no. In the winter, I'm like, there's no one here. This is not like, I feel like if I yell, I'm like, there's no one here to hear me.
Why would you have to yell, huh?
Exactly. But if I do, I'm going to be like, no one's here. But in the summertime, it definitely, with the amount of people that come in, I'm not saying the people that are there right now,
yeah,
they're great, but I'm just like, I need more people here.
I
I
love
love seeing 5 cars on the street versus my car on the street. Like, that makes me feel great.
All right, that makes sense. So you cover this area. You live in Sturgeon Bay or the Door County area. What's happening up there these days? What do we need to know about?
A lot of ice fishing is going to start happening.
Okay.
Ice fishing. Shout out to them. I mean, I could never do that. Just thinking about that, sitting. Some of these people stay like overnight too. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Just not your. Just don't invite me.
I was wearing snow pants yesterday. I'm like, we're going back to that tomorrow. Like, it's not even because it was cold. It was just like the wind and being outside and filming and stuff. I'm like, this is not for 2 pairs of pants only. I have to wear like 9.
So I've seen your work. You're very good at what you do. Do you have to, like, tomorrow, will you go out and try to find a story or have one assigned to you even though it's so cold?
It depends. Normally I pitch things, but there are times where my bosses will be like, okay, we're going to, shift gears, might have you cover this instead, which I'm totally fine with. But I'm just like, tomorrow's one of those days that I'm not sure how that's going to go, especially because it's supposed to be so cold.
Yeah.
We were already getting texts like, if you don't have emergency kits in your car, like, put them in tonight. So I'm like, I don't know what tomorrow's going to look like.
Do you do that? Do you put like a blanket in your car or?
I should.
Right.
I did at one point, but then I took it out because I was just like, I'm just cleaning out the car. I had like V8 cans in there, Starbucks cups. I'm like, this is awesome. So then I was just like, I'm just going to clean it out all at once. And I took everything out and I was like, this is so nice having a clean car. But
all right. So you seem like a pretty positive person. So I consider myself that as well. I've lived in 2 huge metropolitan areas, and I've lived in a small town. And I have enjoyed everywhere I've lived. I truly have found beautiful people everywhere, and I've enjoyed everywhere. It doesn't mean I don't get bored in a small town or overwhelmed in a city sometimes, but what's the best thing about living? Have you found things here to really enjoy?
The people are very responsive to things. Like, I didn't realize how many, like, that sounds bad, but I didn't realize how many people, like, still watch the news. So I'll get, like, Facebook messages or comments, and people are, like, out there being like, this is awesome. Like, thank you so much for focusing on this. And I'm like,
nice.
And I felt, oh my gosh, a couple of days ago, we were at Walmart getting some things for dinner, and there was this woman. I'm in my boyfriend's Carhartt jacket, some sweatpants, hair's, crazy. And this woman stops and she goes, "Are you Hannah Lopez?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my God, like, I love you. I watch you every day. Can I get a picture?"
Oh.
And so it was like super sweet. And I just like stood there and I was like, they're so, like, these people are awesome.
Well, you can't go wrong saying the people are the best thing about an area. But do you do anything winter-wise that you can embrace, cross-country skiing or anything like that?
Absolutely not. I'm not a winter. This is where my boyfriend and I are different, and that's so beautiful for a couple to be different people. I don't, being born and raised in Chicago, coming up here, winter's never been my forte. I don't like having 100 layers. I feel like the inside of a lunchbox. I look like a Christmas story. He loves the snow. He loves the cold. If he could, he'd have our balcony door open, like, every day. And I'm like, you're a little insane, but, whatever. When it was cold last year, we had the window open when we were sleeping. We'd wake up, it'd be like 60 degrees in our apartment. I'm like, what is your deal? He's like, it's so beautiful outside. I can't. I would rather be like in the heat or an area where there are seasons, but they're not that crazy. But
well, you said you were in Key West recently. That must have been, and Conrad's parents lived there,
Good for them.
Maybe you could do a timeshare together.
Timeshare. Key West is like, I said this a couple days ago. I was like, Key West is just, this might just be me thing, but I feel like Key West is the Door County of Florida.
Oh,
there are like 30,000 people that live there total. Door County is 30,000. Yeah.
Wow, really?
That's what I said. I was like, there are only 30,000 people in Key West?
Oh, no kidding.
We went kayaking, and I was like, this is awesome. And then I found a jellyfish. I thought it was like a seashell. And my boyfriend's like, put that down. Because it was on my little thing. He was like, it was on the thing. Like the little paddle or oar or whatever it's called. He's like, that's moving. That is breathing. And so I put it down. And I was like, later that night, I got like TikToks of like the groves and marshes out there. And it was like, there's potentially an alligator. And I was like, that's just awesome, guys. I was over there earlier.
So you're not a total inside person.
I like doing outside stuff when it's not like 45 below or like, the wind so cold I can't feel my eyelashes. That's just...
All right, so you liked Key West a lot, and you called it the Door County of Florida. Love that. What is your favorite thing about Door County?
Oh, that's hard. Probably, I don't know. I really do like the nature up there. Before it started getting cold, like, we went to Cave Point, and it was amazing to just, like, go hiking, go explore that. I want to go more up north. I know, like, we're in Sturgeon Bay, there's Potawatomi, and I've been there many times. We went hiking there in November. Like, it's beautiful. I'd love to do more of that. I think the nature, like, I know that's like a very big thing. People are like, the nature's beautiful. Yeah, that's it's kind of where it's at.
You sound like me when I was your age. I just didn't care about nature. Now I appreciate it, and I look for ways I can appreciate it. I just am not an outside guy. I've tried.
Well, during the pandemic, or even before that, like when we started going into COVID, I was a huge fan of outside tanning, sitting in the sun. That was my favorite thing to do, and I learned to like appreciate that more, like fresh sunlight, putting myself outside with a book, eating ice cream, coloring, something that got me like outside, not being in the house. And I kind of like adapted that into my daily routine of like, okay, like shades go open as soon as I wake up. Is it the best thing that, my boyfriend is not working that day? And he's like, great, thank you so much. Like, I just like doing that. I like...
Listen, I'm first of all, I'm envious. Am I supposed to start dancing now, Con? Was it you're trying to get us to start a dance party over? Are you opposed to a dance off?
I can't really. I'm wearing too many pairs of socks for that.
I envy anyone who can get a tan. I can't go outside. I do work on my pinkness. I'll get like a more of a pinkish hue.
That's
but
my
I'm
mom.
envious.
She like doesn't tan. I tan pretty well. All my siblings, we all tan pretty well. So that was just that's my favorite thing.
You
to
are
do.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming in
Of
tonight.
course.
Hannah.
Thank you for
Great
inviting
pick.
me back.
The Birdcage. Always fellow Blue Demon, Hannah Lopez. Check out her work at NBC 26 here in Green Bay. She does outstanding work. We are coming back to read more of your texts about swearing. And then Molly Aitken is here at 7:35. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Sturgeon Spirits of Oshkosh. Next door to their cocktail bar and tasting room on Oregon Street is the Ready Room, open for your next event. A private bar with aviation-inspired detail. It's ideal for intimate parties, conferences, or special occasion parties and reunions. Sturgeon Spirits, 2663 Oregon Street in Oshkosh, and at grocery and liquor stores throughout the Fox Valley. Wherever you go, buy local, drink local, and take a piece of Oshkosh with you. SturgeonSpirits.com.
Grab the kids and get your creative juices flowing at Green Bay's Community Art Night on Tuesday, January 27th from 5 till 7 p.m. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411. And this art night is an all-ages welcoming event where you can pay what you can to experience the theme of the week, which is clay for this one. These are kid-friendly sessions designed to bring families and the community together through creativity. So learn more by heading to WGBW.FM and click events.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
My Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But early detection allowed us to take control of the situation together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar.
Right, I need to find an answer on the road. I used to be a heart beating for someone, but the times have changed. The less I say, the more my work gets done.
All right, welcome back, folks. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. We have, after the news, sports, and weather, we've got pre-recorded content with Irish author Molly Aitken. She will be here. We talked to her earlier. She is wonderful, and she's a very good guest, and she talks about her books and all the stuff she has going on. She'll be joining us over the stream, pre-recorded from the UK. Molly ended up being just a great guest, so stick around for that. That's at 7:35, and we will close the show with Molly. Right now, we have some time to read some more text, and you can leave that open, Con. I can barely see as it is. Yeah, turn the look at Conrad turning the lights on. I got to read text. Here we go. Our question of the night was about swearing, and I was very curious as to how people respond to it, because I swear. I try to, I guess, kind of read the room for what it's worth, but I also don't freak out about it. I grew up one way, and then I became a stand-up comedian. Most of my friends swear, some of them on stage, some of them off stage. But, Conrad, what's your swearing capacity these days as a young adult?
I'd say it's in every other word when I'm not on
Every
there.
other word. Okay, that's impressive.
No, actually, I'd say just when I'm with my friends, probably.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even realize I'm saying it sometimes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am, I guess. Sometimes it just kind of comes out like that. But we've had a lot of fun tonight. I would like to thank my guests. We've had a lot of fun with Ryan Albers, who is part of the new Top Dog contest that's happening in Northeast Wisconsin here. Then Hannah Lopez from NBC 26 made the popcorn pick of the week. It was The Birdcage, a really solid movie that I have not seen in years. I'll have to give it a rewatch, but Hannah's a lot of fun. She and I are from the same hood in Chicago, too, both making our home now in Northeast Wisconsin. So it was fun to reconnect with Hannah. Check out her work on NBC 26. And then we've got some more texts here to get to. This is great. John Murray in the 608 says, I hope y'all are going to hunker down tomorrow. Try to imagine standing on the side of the road in 50 below wind chill after a neighbor bends your fender. What? He says, yikes, not going to risk it. Oh, that's a hypothetical, I think. What in life is scarier than being stuck outside when it's 50 below? Being stuck outside naked? How would that ever happen, though?
Being stuck outside in 50-degree weather with a bear right in front of you.
A bear right in front of you, correct. A naked bear.
A naked
Yeah.
bear. So no fur.
John says, Pete, do you find that your kids use the cuss words less than you and pick the best moments, or is it all over the place? It is not all over the place. That would bother me. Like if they just swore nonstop, willy-nilly, there's no need for that. Well, but if they're mad and they drop one of the bombs, I'm okay with that.
Well, when Joe, sometimes calls, for the movie picks. I mean, he's just swearing like a sailor.
Does
when
he
he's
really?
Not, yeah.
Oh,
when he's talking to me, I don't even think he likes me because he just keeps swearing at me.
I think what he needs is I think they call it a whipping. These youngsters, they need a good whipping. So there you go. That's those are our texts. John says he says my daughter is like a sniper and only swears when it counts and makes sense. That's impressive. Because they say swearing can be a sign of intelligence.
I mean, it takes a skill to know when to say it.
To know when to say it right. And my wife is a good swearer. And she picks her spots. She was never like one of those that would just go crazy. And I think I like what John said there, that she picks the right moments, because then you can appreciate a good swear word. John also says, I'm sloppy at times. Yeah, I get that.
We got some social media text, too.
Oh, my God. I forgot all about the social media text. Yes, J.B. Thompson, the guy behind the guy.
Behind the guy.
Although there are zones where it isn't allowed, I still prefer creative alternatives as they just sound more hilarious in conversation. You think he's thinking like, oh, fiddlesticks or something like that.
That's a good one.
See, that doesn't get it done for me. Some of those imitation swear words. But he's right. They are hilarious based on the conversation. Our pal from Chicken or the Egg Photography, great place. Check it out, folks. He says, took me till my late 30s to say it on a regular basis in front of my parents. He means swearing. There was one time in my 20s I did when I was in the hospital ER, and they screwed up the IV and had to redo it. And we all know how horrible that skin tape is. Pretty much rips any skin you have off. So I told my mother, cover your ears. And as they were ripping and putting a needle in the other arm, he dropped the MFer. Oh, that's the one I don't like.
The granddaddy of them all.
But he says, ha ha. It's not actually the granddaddy of them all. But it's the one I just don't like it. But thank you, Chris, for the text. Eric Rathsack from Ask Your Mother, outstanding band here in Green Bay, says, depends how old they are. When they're really little and use it in the right context, I can never not laugh at it. That's a great.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. This is so funny.
Totally agree. Great one. Amanda Nimmer from WGBW fame says, mine are allowed to at home, nowhere else, and only as an adjective. We'll call them out if they're being mean with it. Now, that's interesting, and I kind of agree with everything she said, but aren't her kids like 2?
Yeah, I don't.
She's got that little guy that won the walrus that won the costume contest. He was like 6 years old.
It was a bleeping good walrus.
Jody on social media says, not at home, most definitely not in public. With their friends, however, their choice. Jody's a good mom. Tim Baker on social media says, there is a time and a place. That's kind of how I am, Tim. Thank you. Richard Vargas on social media says, not a fan, but times they are a-changin'. The F word has lost its impact. That's interesting. Kind of agree. Austin Galante says, F, yeah. Yeah, I still haven't seen his movie. He came into the studio in Madison when I was down there last summer. I want to check out his vampire movie. Bill Mode says, sent a meme that says, bend over and I'll show you.
That's the Clark Griswold.
Fletch?
No, that's Christmas Vacation.
Vacation.
Yeah. My mom added, too, this wasn't printed she says, I really don't like it when the boys say the F word. So,
I did see that. I'm glad you read that.
Yes, when we're golfing, sometimes I'll say it around her.
Oh, that's a big swear.
Then I regret it.
It's a big time to swear. Folks, we are out of here for now. Pre-recorded content coming up. Check it out. It's great. Molly is a great interview. Tomorrow night, we will have the lead singer of Toto, Joseph Williams, critic Rob Thomas, and Terry Barr and Bar Band. Friday night. Good night, Wisconsin.
Know you're everything to me. Every time I'm with you, baby, I can't believe it's true. When you lay in my arms.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A monster storm about to sweep its way across much of the U.S. Watches and warnings stretching from Montana to Maine and from New Mexico to the Carolinas. ABC's Whit Johnson.
From across the Atlanta area to Jackson, Missouri to Oklahoma City, parking lots and gas stations packed, shelves stripped bare. Delta canceling flights in 5 states, most airlines offering to waive change fees. New York City bracing for 6 to 12 inches of snow. Sanitation officials promising they're ready.
Vice President J.D. Vance making a stop in Minneapolis today, meeting with ICE agents. This comes amid increased scrutiny of the detention of a 5-year-old boy and his father by federal agents after arriving home from preschool. Gripping testimony on Capitol Hill for the first time in public. Former Special Prosecutor Jack Smith defending his decision to indict President Trump. Smith saying he had, quote, proof beyond a reasonable doubt that the president engaged in criminal activity. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low near 15 below. Extreme cold warning for a wind chill near 40 below. Sunshine tomorrow, a high of 5 below. Cold weather advisory Friday p.m. for wind chills 20 to 30 below. Bitter cold sticks around through the weekend. Right now it's 3.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
I'm Angela Bassett. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option for epinephrine. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. It is great to have you here on this frigid evening, folks. Stay warm out there. Tomorrow, the high, at least in northeast Wisconsin, is going to be like -10. I don't even think I've ever experienced cold like this in my life. So bundle up, and I know it's going to be not much better around the state. So let's warm up this show right now, if we could, and talk about something that can help us escape and take us away. And that, of course, is great books and literature. And joining me now, it is my pleasure to welcome to Nite Lite for the first time. She is the winner of the Alice Hoffman Prize for Fiction in 2023, and she joins us all the way from Ireland, author Molly Aitken. Hi, Molly.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Please tell me it's warmer there than it is here.
Way warmer. Yeah.
Okay. You don't think
I don't think I've. I was going to say I've never been as cold as you. I don't think in my whole life.
I literally have a space heater right at my hip, and we'll get through this though. And you don't equate Ireland with being a tropical place, but I'm sure it's much warmer where you are than where are you, by the way?
I'm actually not in Ireland. I don't live in Ireland anymore. I grew up in West Cork, which I know your family is from, or part of your family.
Yeah.
Is from. But no, I live in the UK now. I live in England.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's really interesting. And we did talk about that off the air a little bit. I have roots in Cork, and here's what I find interesting. Like, you look Irish. I asked you if I looked Irish, and you said, yeah, kind of. My mom is Black Irish. She gets tan. And you mentioned that most people think of Irish as gingers, but there are a lot of Irish people that get tan. I am not one of them, and it really makes me mad, to be honest with you.
I am so mad about it as well. I just turn into a lobster. It's very depressing.
Well, the good thing is you're a writer, and you probably spend a lot of time indoors in front of your computer, which I find just so great and romantic and outstanding. And I also have to say, before we get into some of your works, you said in your email you were glad we told you it was live radio so you could stop yourself from cursing. Is that a chore for you, or?
Yes. Yeah. In Ireland, we swear in every other sentence, so I'm holding myself back. Although I have to say, living in England, I've had to train myself not to curse so much anymore. A little more
proper over there, huh?
Yeah, they're more proper than us for sure.
Our question of the day is, how do you feel about do you let your kids swear? How do you feel about swearing? And I'm the same way. Like, I was brought up in a house where we didn't really swear, but I do. I was a stand-up comic, and my kids, I didn't really want them swearing in the house, but my wife kind of let that cat out of the bag, and now my kids swear freely, and I have to accept it. So there you go. Were you able to swear when you were a kid?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But my parents did all the time. And I have a son, and my stance is that he can swear, but I do say, don't do this at school.
You're right. That's good. That's good advice.
I don't know if that's worked though, to be honest.
You'll hear about it, I'm sure, if it doesn't.
Yeah. I'll be getting a letter.
Okay, so you've got these two books that are very well received. You write historical fiction. Tell us, for those of us who still read, and I struggle. I was an English major. I still want to read. I need some motivation, though. What can you tell me about Bright I Burn, your book that was released just about a year ago?
Yeah. So this is about the first woman ever accused of witchcraft in Ireland in 1324. And she was one of the first women who was ever accused of witchcraft formally, and her case was quite different to any other. And I'd heard about her as a kid growing up in school, and she was like presented as the type of woman as good Catholic girls should never become. And I was kind of afraid of her. But then as I grew up, I kind of started to think about her in a different way. I had a really weird experience as well. Like, I was telling my mom that I was thinking about writing about her, but I was afraid to do it because she's also famous for having killed her 4 husbands. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go there. Yeah.
She got a 4th husband? She killed the first 3 and found some sucker?
I know.
Whoa, that's
I know.
crazy.
Part of what's really incredible about her is she was also a banker and like incredibly independently wealthy. So that's why they kept coming. They just loved the money. But yeah, I said to my mom, I was like, I think I'm going to write about her. My mom was like, you should sit down and talk to her. And I had this sensation. I like did everything that you're supposed to do when you're like welcoming a ghost. I like lit a candle. I closed my eyes. I invited her into the room, and I felt this presence leaning over my shoulder, and I heard her whispering, "Are you afraid of me?" And I was like, "Yes."
Wow.
Yes, I am. And then I had this sensation of her like walking to stand in front of me. And as she did, she turned into a child. And she said, "I'm afraid of myself too." And that was the moment where I was like, I think I can write about you.
Oh my gosh.
It was a very strange experience.
So when was that, Molly?
That was during the pandemic, which it was like a lockdown in the UK. So everyone was a bit crazy, including myself. So I think that might be part of the explanation. But I just went with it. And in a way, I feel like she wrote the book. She had this she's known in Ireland for being like a very negative, aggressive character. And she's really seen through the eyes of the church still within history. And the church did not like her. And I felt like she had this rage that she wanted to tell her story in her way.
Where do you go? Where do you go with that after that experience where you were probably like, did I just see that or did I not? So you've got this great experience, a launch point. How do you create a book around that?
Yes, that's such a good question. So first off, I wrote it all by hand, which I don't think people do very often now. But that just felt right to me, given that she lived in the medieval period in Ireland. In a sense, I just felt that would connect me to her more. And possibly this might be something that you're familiar with, because I know that you've written for screen. Like that internal critic, I wanted to switch off my internal critic and just write and see what happened. So that's what I did. And I had a weird ritual as well. I would light a candle, invite her into the room. And then when I was done, I would shoo her out the door, because even though she wasn't literally there, but I felt like I needed something to not kind of carry the weight of her around with me. And also I was newly married, writing about this woman who supposedly kills her 4 husbands. So I was like, I don't think I need this energy all the time. I'll just have it while I'm writing. And in a way, I felt like it wasn't wholly me who wrote it. It was her. And I'm a bit weird in that way. I do feel that about a lot of the characters that I write about. I write in the first person pretty often. And so I kind of give it over to the character to tell their story. I don't know if that's just an easier way to do it, so it doesn't feel like so much pressure on myself. I'm like, they're handling it. They know what the story is. They'll do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. I'm always fascinated by how authors work and their process. And what, like for you, do you like a book like that? Did you write that quickly? Did you sit down and pull like a Jack Kerouac and not leave your typewriter, keyboard, whatever for like 3 days, or did it take a year? How long does it typically take you?
It's so different depending on the book. This one was like weirdly specific as well, because I wrote it in the first year of my son's life.
Okay.
So I was writing it like when he was napping, and that meant that like every chapter was really short. He didn't nap for long. But now readers have said to me that like the pace of it is really fast, because it's just these like really short chapters. So I think it's different for every book. That book, so that first big write-up of it took 1 year. But then I had to rewrite a lot of it because I was like slightly sleep deprived.
Yeah. Maybe that helped though on some level, right?
Yeah,
like it kind of opens your brain a little bit, or stream of consciousness. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think I was just like, I was about to swear there. I cared less. I cared less because, yeah, I just didn't have time to care. So I just like wrote whatever, and some of it was good and some of it wasn't, but it didn't really matter. Yeah.
That's great. You can swear, by the way, because this is pre-recorded. So it just gives Conrad a little extra work. But if you got to let one fly, go for it. I've been there.
Thank you.
So are you a fan of, you write historical fiction. Who are your influences? Are you a fan of like Leon Uris?
I have no idea who. I think the people, like the authors that we read, are probably very different, because there's a lot of U.S. authors who aren't published here, and vice versa.
Okay.
The big ones for me are probably Hilary Mantel.
Okay.
Who you might have heard of. I'm not sure. She wrote Wolf Hall, and won the Booker Prize twice, which is unusual.
Oh wow.
And another author I love, who's getting a lot of attention right now, actually, is Maggie O'Farrell, who wrote Hamnet.
Oh yeah, right. Sure.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you love to see your books, like you've seen them performed or things you've written? What is that like? And would you ever like to see one of your books adapted into a screenplay for the big screen?
Oh, I think that's everyone's dream. I mean, if it's done well.
Right. Right.
Because I do have author friends that it has not been done well for. I would adore that. I do know that right now it's not happening that much for historical, because it's so expensive to make a historical piece.
Okay.
Although maybe Hamlet will change that.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I would adore that. Saoirse Ronan, Jessie Buckley, call me. I'm available.
Well, I know they're big listeners. They're probably tuning in right now.
Yeah.
So you also write strong female characters. That's kind of what you're known for. Who are they based on?
Well, I think it comes from myself, honestly. With Alice, who is the main character in Bright Eye Burn, the first so-called witch in Ireland. The book was really fueled by rage and like this huge anger. And I've always been someone who like would say that I'm not an angry person. I would say that, I don't get angry. And I think that had just like built up inside me for so long that I like needed to release it. And actually I think like getting emotions out on a page, especially maybe an emotion like anger, is quite like, it's a constructive use of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We have to do a very short break. My guest is Molly Aitken. She is the author behind such great books as Bright Eye Burn and The Island Child. We'll have a few more minutes with Molly when we return. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. From fighting wildfires with air support, helping civilians in flooded neighborhoods, to delivering food and supplies to those who have lost everything, the Army National Guard always responds when disaster strikes. The Army National Guard also trains to be ever vigilant against threats, foreign and domestic. They protect our skies with missile defense weaponry. They secure our information, communications, and infrastructure with cybersecurity. And they protect us against chemical, biological, and radiological hazards with the civilian support team. The Army National Guard also stands ready to deploy and provide support for conflicts or humanitarian missions abroad. Join the Army National Guard and be there to respond, protect, and support your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677
This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me on this Thursday night. It is the Christmas Eve of weeknights, folks. Let's go. Let's effing go. I would say the full F word, like my guest, Molly, who swears like a sailor and has had to control herself because she's on live radio tonight. I really appreciate that. She is the author of such books as Bright I Burn from 2024 and The Island Child from 2020, an award-winning author who was based in Ireland and is joining us tonight from the UK, Molly Aitken. It is so great to have you here. How do you think it's going so far? Are you having fun?
I'm having so much fun.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
This is nice to be around a person who is truly Irish. I've been faking it my whole life as a half Irishman, but
well, I have a confession. I'm half Scottish.
Oh dear, that's trouble.
I know.
And you're in and now you're in London, right? Or in England?
I know. They've all disowned me.
You can't make everybody happy, right?
No.
Can you tell me about that moment, Molly, when you decided, I'm going to do this. I can do this. I know I can be a writer. What if there was a moment like that? What was the moment, and when was it?
Okay, I have two answers for you. When I was about 9, I wrote a novel, in air quotes, for a family member as a Christmas present. And it was about an orphan who finds out that Santa's her dad, obviously.
Oh, fun.
And that relative then gave me back that book in like bound as a real book. She got it printed by like this like beautiful printmaker, and it was a proper book. And that was the moment where I was like, oh my God, like something that I write can be turned into a real book.
Yeah.
And I still have it, and it's so bad.
Oh, come on, really?
It's cute. It's very cute. But yeah, we all have to start somewhere. But then I suppose as a teenager, I didn't write as much, or in my early 20s, I was having too much fun, I suppose. And then when I was like 24, I was like, I think I should start taking this seriously. And I did that thing which I think a lot of writers do, and it's somewhat boring in a way, but I was like, if I want to do this, I have to commit and pay for it. And so I did an MFA in creative writing, and that was that opened the doors really. I needed that like structure and people telling me to write things every week in order to actually do it.
It does help, doesn't it, to be around other writers? You just get a motivation, or you get like infused with creativity, I find, like, and that always motivates me to want to sit down and write. Is it like that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now I have like a few trusted other writers who I will share with, and it's very motivating because I like try and get things really good.
Yeah.
Because they're also like such great writers that I'm like too embarrassed to share something bad with them. So it is very motivating.
That's
motivating.
so great. So you said you did something recently called Soho. Where is that? I had that right in front of me.
Soho Radio.
Soho Radio, but that's not out yet. Can you tell us when we can see that, or where we can? And tell us what it is. Is it a podcast or a performance?
I didn't know what this was, but they invited me on. It's a radio. It's a very cool, hip radio show down in London.
Kind of like this one?
Yeah, absolutely. And like when I came in, I was like, I'm not supposed to be in this building. It's full of like very young, cool people. And it was two artists, like painters, and myself and another writer just talking about our processes, and also like how art is similar to writing, but then also how it's different. It was fascinating. The artists are so fascinating, and the way they work is really interesting. I was quite jealous because they can just like spend a day and then they're done. They've like finished a thing. So
and
jealous.
It's so different for someone like you. So what is your process? Do you sit down every day for a certain amount of time? Do you write when you're inspired, or in a certain area that you like to write physically? What's your process like?
I don't do it every day. And I almost feel guilty saying that because I think lots of people think that you should, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like what I do is not good when I write every day. But I will have like times where it's extremely intense.
Yeah.
Like say 3 months where I'm writing almost constantly.
Nice.
And then I'll take a break and do other jobs. And in terms of like where I write, basically anywhere. I love, there's like a cemetery. I don't know if you have this in the US, but across Europe, there's like old graveyards that are like super old and beautiful and full of trees and like foxes and things. And maybe it suits me because I write historical fiction, and I was just telling you that like a ghost helped me write.
Hey, whatever works, you know.
Yeah.
And we have graveyards here in America. They're just not as old, right?
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, so I go to this Victorian graveyard and I write there. And just like in my notebook. But in the past, like I used to live in the city of Manchester in the UK, and I worked in advertising, and I would like commute every day on this like tram, and I would just write on my phone and like squash between businessmen.
And they have no idea that you're churning out your next novel. That is so great. Molly, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been great getting to know you. You'll have to come back when you have this other thing that's really cool that you can't talk about. You told me earlier. So when you find out something about that, come back and please tell us all about it. And it was just great getting to know you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
All right, that's Molly Aitken, author. Check out her stuff. Just Google her, folks. That's what I did, and all of her works come up, and she's outstanding on social media, so give her a follow. I'd like to thank my other guest, Hannah Lopez, who made the popcorn pick of the week, Ryan Albers. Thank you for all your texts and calls. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin, and stay warm.